It's speed machine time for World RX. No rehearsals, no auto-tune, and definitely no sound check. Strap yourself in, let's go. Welcome to the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. The UK round of the season forms part of the Speed Machine Festival. If you like music and motorsport, then this is as good as it gets. A real party atmosphere in the paddock as World RX brings its unique style of action to one of the most famous venues in motor racing. Located at the historic Silverstone circuit in the very heart of England, Speed Machine is a petrolhead's utopia. Big names on and off track, with the World RX stars the headliners. But when it comes to racing, it's got a hell of an act to follow. Round 3, Spa-Francorchamps and the brand new purpose-built rallycross track incorporating the iconic Eau Rouge was an absolute showstopper. A stunning banked final corner and a finish line jump added to the mix, which produced action the likes of which even World RX has rarely seen. Undercuts, side-by-side racing, mid-air contact, we had it all. Every driver played their part, but one man took centre stage. Take a bow, Timazyanov. Despite not winning a qualifying race all weekend, he had the crowd on their feet on more than one occasion with some epic passes. Come semi-final one, the Russian and his GRX Tanaco team could smell a smash hit. He split the RX Cartel boys at the start and pushed Andreas backward all the way to the finish, serving notice of what they could expect in the final. Starting from row 2, he took full advantage of the turn 1 contact between backward and the impressive Jonny Wieman to lead by the time they got to the hairpin. From then on in, it would be a tense run to the flag. At the finish, the celebrations were as unique as the man himself. Shouting, donuts, more shouting, and standing on the roof rolling backwards down Eau Rouge. As one of just 3 drivers to have contested every event since World RX began in 2014, there was no more popular winner in the stands or the paddock.
It was a really great event for everyone from our team. I think it was a really great event for every rallycross driver who enjoyed this track. It was so nice to drive. I still can't believe that it can be so easy to win the race when I'm driving. I'm trying to push and to drive to be fast, but in fact the way is on the opposite side. I don't need to overdrive actually myself. For me, the final race, it was my own race. I was feeling like I'm alone on the track. No one is coming, nowhere, like no chance.
With a massive monkey off the Russian's back and confidence at an all-time high, Timazyanov has set his sights on the championship leaders.
I know that in front of me it's 2 guys only now. I know that for sure I can be competitive with Kevin. It's not even a question. We know that we are faster than him. We just need to have stable rounds and everything. But Timmy this is the person for whom I need to put maximum attention now. That is my career. Thank you.
That win sees Timazyanov catapulted up to 3rd place in the driver standings, just 5 points behind Timmy Hansen in 2nd. Kevin Hansen still has an 11-point advantage, but having missed the final in Spa, the Sharks are circling below. Niklas Gronholm drops down the order after sitting out the last round due to appendicitis. With Gronholm still recovering, Jonny Wieman steps in once again at Speed Machine. The team standings couldn't be much tighter. GRX's impressive haul in Belgium puts them within a single point of Team Hansen MJP. Monster Energy RX Cartel are 32 points back in 3rd, followed by the 2 GCK squads with a little work to do. Speed Machine will see thousands of fans at the home of British motorsport, and many would love to witness a British World RX winner for the very first time. RX regular Ollie Bennett continues to progress at world level. Part-time James Bond stunt driver and British Rallycross champion Mark Higgins joins the wildcard pack at Silverstone. But the biggest chance for a home win must be from RX Cartel's Liam Doran. The British bomb has had his well-publicised problems in recent years, but 2019 is a clean slate and a massive opportunity.
This year was a big surprise for me. It definitely wasn't in the plan. With everything that's happened in the past few years, I kind of packed up my bag for the last time and was ready for it to come to an end. So then for that to turn around last year, going into driving the GCK, from nowhere really, and then from that, then leading on to doing this full championship. It's something that I hadn't expected to happen. I think at Silverstone there's not an awful lot of pressure on me this year because I've got such a good resource to pull upon with a good team and good mechanics and good sponsors. I've got everything I need to get a result I need. So I feel actually more comfortable and more at ease than normal because the pressure on me now is just the driving.
Doran will be bang up to speed on the Silverstone circuit. He raced here last year in America's Rallycross, and a debut World RX win could be the launch pad for the season.
I got a good result for sure out of that last year. That was I think was the start to my reconstructing my career. That was the one-off race, went very well. It was definitely a milestone for me doing that. But it was great to be racing with those guys again. It meant a lot to me to get that podium last year.
Consistency as well as speed is what the likes of Doran and co crave. Yanis Balmanis has been a master of both as the only driver to make every final in 2019 so far. After making just one final in the whole of 2018, this step up in pace sees the Latvian sitting in 4th place, just 6 points off second. With such an unpredictable season in the making, could this be a championship winning strategy?
To make all 3 finals is something special. I didn't think too much after Belgium race when you said to me it. Then it was, oh yeah, good job, man. The championship right now, if you look at top 6 or 7, it's really tight. It's really, really tight. There is no place for mistake. I think that's the most important thing. We will do our best, and if I get maximum points after qualifying and then as much as I can in semi-final, final, maybe in the end of the year it will be going to be quite good.
With the drivers getting ready for action, let's take a look at what this track has in store for World RX. Silverstone circuit in Great Britain, host to MotoGP and Formula 1, and of course the World Rallycross Championship since last year. Just under a kilometre for the track length, 61% asphalt, 39 dirt. On board with Jonny Weeman up towards turn 1, brakes heavily for the tarmac hairpin, carry the speed through here, run the car all the way out to the wall on the left-hand side, braking now, in towards the right, important not to clip those barriers. We saw a roll there last year. A little bit of handbraking to the left, that corner's off camber, on the gas again, up towards the jump, this can be taken flat out, lands down at the bottom on the brakes again, in towards the right, be patient on the throttle, then open it up, pull a few gears on the run down, and perhaps the trickiest corner on the circuit is this off camber slow hairpin. Weeman runs a little bit wide on this lap, gets it straight on the exit, on the gas. Joker goes right, standard lap goes left, threading the needle through here. Be as committed as you can, because it's a long start, finish straight back to turn 1. The crowd were in early at Silverstone to see everything Speed Machine had to offer, and they had something to cheer about in race 1. Higgins led from the start, but he made a mistake at the hairpin, Sabo getting up the inside. First time here for Sabo, brilliant result, takes the win. On to race 2, and for a random draw, this one was tough. Kevin Hansen going around the outside of Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backward in turn 1, but he wasn't as quick as Timmy. Timmy jokered early to give himself the space to take the win. Race 3, and Jonny Weeman and Oliver Bennett over the jump. Weeman this weekend competing in Niklas Gronholm's car, and he didn't like the way it was handling. Bennett dropped it on the brakes, ran up the back of Weeman. All this squabbling played into the hands of Guillaume de Ridder, who came around the outside at the last corner for the win. The final race of Q1 saw an unbelievable start from Timur Timizyanov. He moved to the inside to cover everyone off. We ride on board with Balmanis. Liam had gone up the inside of Timur. Markland too. Balmanis unfortunately found the wall. Markland leading from Doran later in the race. He was on for a fantastic time but made a mistake in the last hairpin. Did that lose him the session? Hansen wins. Kevin Hansen P2. The grids for Q2 were reversed with the fastest drivers out first. Timmy Hansen leading from Kevin Hansen, a little bit of damage for Baccarat, and another mistake for Anton Markland. Hansen though, no problems, fast again. Race 2 and Yoni Wieman looking to recover from a poor Q1. Timozyanov looking for a better start, but he found Derrida in turn 3. Wieman was on the chase for Doran. By the end of the race, he got him back on the pace from Spa. On board with Ollie Bennett down to turn 1. Yanni Parston running into the side of Mark Higgins, and then Parston running into the back of Bennett. But nothing could stop Bennett from taking a home win. The biggest surprise of Q2, though, was Timo Scheider. In the last race on a developing track, he came within a couple of tenths of Timmy Hansen, who takes the overnight TQ.
Timmy, your 9th qualifying win and sitting TQ overnight. A pretty good day for the Hansens and for yourself.
Yeah, the day has been amazing and the season is continuing to go well. But today all the little margins were on my side. The speed is there. I'm so comfortable in the car. We're just one, me and the car. And to drive around here, car fits really well. I'm comfortable around the track, so just been a very good day.
Results after Q2 then: Timmy Hansen at the top of the table from his brother Kevin, Backer 3rd, Sabo, Markland, Wieman up in 6th, Scheider up to 7th with Shisha in 8th. Doran, Timozyanov, Balmanis and Derrida currently inside the top 12. Bennett and Higgins desperate to make the cut at home. Heading into Q3 then, last time out in Spa, the Monster Energy RX Cartel boys were 1 and 2 overnight. Here in the UK, Backard is in 3rd, but Liam Doran has a bit of work to do. He's inside the top 12, but I'm sure he'd like to be a bit further up. Laura's down with the team now.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Yes, I'm down here with Andreas now, sitting P3, but the Hansens, a bit of work to do to get round them, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. First of all, I woke up super early this morning. Very grumpy. I was like really tired. Woke up with my left leg first and realizing that this was a bad day. Went back to bed, cuddled in 5 more minutes, went up with the right leg, which is the throttle leg, and yeah, so today is a good day because today is a race day.
You literally got out of bed the wrong side then?
Yeah, I did. So, but I saved it, luckily. So now we're back on grade. Hopefully we have a good day. We definitely need some good starts. We need a good pace on track. Good joker strategy to be able to beat the Hansens. They are fast here. Hopefully, maybe. I'm actually wishing it will be raining, even though the fans wouldn't like that. But yeah, there we go.
And on a track where there aren't that many points to overtake, how important is a fast, good start here?
It is very crucial, but the thing is, like, when you come to a track like here in Silverstone, where the grip is very, very even on the start line and it's a very high grip surface, it's very equal start by everyone. It's more, it's different when you come to a track like Estering or Norway when it's very slippery on the start line. There you can have the chance to win with 1 car length into the first corner. Here it's a drag and it's more the reaction time, and as you can see we all are like inside the same hundreds on the reaction time, so it's really hard to be 1 car length into the first corner.
Thank you very much, Andreas. We'll now talk to your teammate as well, Liam Doran. Quick question for you then, Liam. Obviously home track, you're on British soil. Where are the danger points on this track?
The danger point on this track would probably be where I went off yesterday, to be quite honest. This corner up behind me here, turn 8, is the hardest corner on the track. It's completely blind and very slippery, so for me that's the risky corner on the track. You have to take it easy. The jump's the jump, so obviously a little bit dangerous, but not really if you get it all to plan. No, it's a good track. It's a little bit, it's technical and it's slippery, but hopefully no mistakes like yesterday.
Thank you very much, Liam. Best of luck today.
Well, I know the British fans are really keen, obviously, to see a Brit in the semi-finals. There is Doran's Audi. We know how quick he can be. He can be spectacular. Hoping he's having a good form day today. And Bennett and Higgins too, of course. My name's Andrew Coley. Joining me on co-commentary this weekend, Dan Rook. Reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid, Laura Winter. Here is how we stand after Q2 going into Q3. Timmy Hansen has won both sessions yesterday. Kevin Hansen P2, Backard, Sabo, Markland, Wieman, Scheider and Shisha are the top 8. At the minute, Liam Doran down in 9th, Timozyanov 10th, Balmanis and Derrida. Bennett, look, could he make the semis at home? goes Sunday morning, time for Q3, and remember the grids were reversed, so the fastest guys go first. Timmy Hansen on the inside next to Scheider, then it's Kevin Hansen, Yannis Baumanis and Jonny Weeman. New tyres for Baumanis. Baumanis in 11th, the man with the most to do out of this group. Scheider yesterday dragged himself right up with that brilliant performance P2 in Q2, and that took him up to 7th place. Timmy Hansen has won both the sessions so far. It should be fun. Let's see the relative pace of these guys in the same race, in the same conditions. It's key compared to yesterday. I say Scheider had a clean track. Weeman, we know, has adjusted the car to his liking. Very even start across. Baumanis drops back. Weeman coming up the outside. Scheider's dropped into P2. Going to try and get up in between the two Peugeots. Kevin on the handbrake. There's no room. Weeman's on the outside. Contact between him and Timmy down towards turn 2. Timmy's going to go late. Kevin trying to go round the outside, but he can't. Weeman gets up into P3. Baumanis has slogged into 4th, and Scheider drops down to 5th place. We're on board with Weeman over the big jump. Big air, and that's the first half of the first lap completed. Dan, not too much carnage in turn 1.
No, not too bad, but Scheider getting a little bit squeezed there. Unfortunately for him, not getting the best of starts, maybe bogging slightly on the line. We heard Backrun saying how the grip variation at this track is super grippy off the line. So
Weeman and Scheider have both gone joker on the first lap, so both those guys thinking they can do better than the start they got. And again, we'll be able to see their relative pace in the background. Very different lines from them at the rear of your shot. They're coming out of the joker lap. Timmy Hansen has gapped his brother Kevin by a second on the first lap. Timmy's loving it here.
yeah, this track really suits the Peugeots. Nice, tight, technical circuit. You've got to keep everything really precise, and both the Hansen brothers and the Peugeots are fantastic at doing that job.
Lots of people saying they've been struggling for traction here, but that's one thing that the Peugeots don't seem to be struggling for.
No, not at all. You can just see how tight they're able to keep it in this hairpin, one of the slippiest parts of the circuit. And Baumanis there. Kevin goes to the joker lap now, so we'll cover off Jonny Weeman.
So let's see how quick Kevin is compared to Jonny. Jonny was a little bit sideways in the joker. He's going to come around the outside with a bit more speed, but I think Kevin's got him. He has. So Kevin defends from Jonny Weeman. Scheider's dropping slightly off the back of this pack. On board with Weeman now, super smooth through turn 1, out towards the wall. So Weeman yesterday, in Abu Dhabi, Rainis used the car, he shunted it, they repaired it. Weeman used that car in Spa, but this is Nick Glass's car, and Danny was saying he didn't like the way it handled. It's the same car. Explain to people why at home Nick Glass has got it set up differently than Jonny likes it.
So obviously everyone has their different style, and everyone has different preferences. I know when I drove with Liam in a supercar, he set the car for how he liked it. The difference too tight for me. I couldn't get the car to turn in, so Jonny was having to make those same changes yesterday.
Baumanis has come out just in front of Scheider. So Baumanis behind Weeman. Kevin Hansen and Weeman having jokered. Scheider on the gas through there, and again you can see there, can't you, the way the cars are just set up slightly differently for driver preference. Scheider able to have it slightly more sideways on the exit, and as I say, that fastest lap of the day, Timmy Hansen 40.2, but that's slower than yesterday was, Dan.
Yeah, so yesterday we were running in the 39s. I'm not quite sure what the point was, but so we are slightly...
3, I think we got down to. Possibly Scheider might have gone 39.2 in the last race.
But yeah, so a second a lap slower at the minute.
Here we go, Timmy Hansen then coming round to stop the clocks for Q3. Over the line. And he goes 250.7. So 250.7 is 3 seconds slower than we were going yesterday afternoon. 2 seconds slower than yesterday morning. So the track definitely slower, because that's 5 of our fastest drivers. Here's the result of that first race from Q3. Hansen takes it to 50.7 from his brother Kevin. Jonny Weeman takes 3rd, Baumanis 4th, Scheider in 5th. Will that be enough for Timmy to win 3 qualifying sessions from 4? Off the line, then down towards turn 1. Dan, there was quite a lot going on here. We're on board with Baumanis, and you can see Scheider trying to get in between the 2 Peugeots.
Yeah, so then Kevin coming around the outside. Baumanis trying to squeeze way up the inside, and elbows out stuff there from Baumanis. You can see a little bit of debris coming off the cars there as well, so a little bit rough, but luckily no serious damage for these guys.
Yeah, no casualties. Kevin, it looked like, tried to use the handbrake on the inside and actually ended up with the nose of his car on the side of Timmy. That then pushed him wide. Loads going on, but they all got through clean. The track seems to be a bit slower. Timmy Hansen has taken the fastest time, but we've got all the rest of the cars to come. Remember, grids reversed for Q3.
Well, clinical as ever from Timmy Hansen here. 2:50, 3 seconds slower than we were seeing the track yesterday. How much do you see this track evolving, and do you think that's enough to beat TQ after Q3?
Well, I don't know, but I definitely did my best through these 4 laps, but it is slippery today. And traction is difficult after the last corner there. It's spinning the whole way down to the finish line. So for sure the track is going to get faster, but I couldn't have done more.
Thanks very much, Timmy. Well done.
So coming up in this next one then, Timo Timosjanov and Andreas Backerud. Stats for these guys, of course, these are 2 of our 3 who've done every single race in World RX history, but this is about this year. 7 times they've met on the circuit. In 2019, 57% of the time it's gone the way of Backerud. 2 qualifying race wins to Timo, 4 to Backerud, 1 semi-final to Backerud, but crucially, that 1 final to Timo last time out at Spa-Francorchamps. Race 2 then, Q3, here we go. Christian Sabo and Andreas Backerud on the inside, identical cars, different teams. 4th for Sabo, 3rd for Backerud after Q2. Timosjanov is down in 10th. He's been a bit unlucky, I think, at the start. Backerud's got 2 new boots on the front, look, and then it's Markland and Shishirit on the outside. So Markland was very quick yesterday, but made a mistake on both runs, and he's still up there. He was 4th and 9th, respectively, in Q1 and Q2. So the GCK Renault Megane RS is looking good. What can they do here? Right, there's the view down to turn 1. Grandstand nice and full already early in the morning. Thumbs up from the marshal. Watch for the ready to race light. There it is. Listen to that. Oh, Timmer had to dump the clutch again. He's done that a few times. He did it in practice this morning, so Timmer drops back. Markland moves across. Timmer around the outside of Sabo. Nowhere to go there because Markland was in him, and Backerud is gone. Timmer having a look up the inside of Sabo again into turn 3. So it's going to be Backerud from Markland, Sabo, Timosjanov and Shishirit. But that was just one of those things in turn 1. No one to blame there for me, Dan.
No, it's a big squeeze and everybody trying to get their way into the tightest line possible into turn 1, and unfortunately for Zaba getting hooked up in that and then pushing everybody else wide when he got turned out. So
Timmer's into the back of Sabo again. Sabo stopped. I don't know what's happened there, so I don't know if Timmer will get in trouble for that or not. He can't reverse in a race, can he? This is an absolute disaster for all these guys. And Sabo, he had an issue like this, didn't he? He ended up retiring in Q4 in Spa, so I feel a bit for him. I actually feel for Timmer as well, because I think Timmer got unlucky in the start again, and then at the end, Dan, what are you going to do if the car stopped in front of you on the track?
I mean, it's not very really you can go. It's not like these guys can quickly select reverse. They've got a sequential gearbox. They have to go all the way down through the gears to try and get to reverse.
That lap time, 39.3 from Backerud. He's just gone and smashed it. So Timmy's best was at 40.2. This is 1 race later, and he's just got 9/10 quicker.
Yeah, so Backerud on an absolute charge and taking Markland with him as well. Markland only 0.9 behind him. So a fantastic performance from the pair of them. Markland up a lap time. Markland just at 40.2. Andreas on a 41.2 on that last lap. So maybe Andreas made a mistake there, but his first lap there was an absolute flyer.
So first lap from Backerud, really good. Markland was a little way back after all that action in turn 1, but somehow has managed to close the gap, or had closed the gap a bit to Backerud. Backerud looks to have got away again through that section. So it seems sections of this track are suiting different drivers and different cars. This is the corner where you've got to find the traction, because from here then, it's gas, gas, gas all the way through this section here. Liam said to me this morning, well, we'll talk about Liam when we see him in a minute, but he struggled with that. Markland goes Joker now. So Markland's gone Joker. Is that to wait? He's got nothing to protect behind, so he could have, and maybe shouldn't wait until the last lap down.
I mean, maybe Markland felt like he had more pace than he had behind Backerud, and with there being a huge gap behind him, no threat of being caught up. So getting it in and out and done, and then potentially making an overlap here on Andreas.
So Markland's going to have to have a massive push on this last lap if he wants to get it done. I reckon Backerud's got enough. The question is, has he got enough to match that time at the bottom? 2:50.712 is the time of Timmy Hansen. Remember, the grids have been reversed, so we're seeing the fastest cars first. Backerud going to go up into the joke lap now. He's going to try and keep it tidy. Beautifully done. He's right on the inside and the outside. Chasing the clock now, then Backerud on the gas, on the gears, up towards the line. He's going to do it, definitely. The Blues have gone mad, and that's because Backerud has won his first session, assuming no one goes quicker. Remember, he's got 2 to come. Backerud slower than Timmy Hansen. Slower than Kevin Hansen too. So Markland, I think, is going to go third, but Baccarat has beaten Timmy Hansen. So Timmy Hansen beaten for the first time this weekend. And for me, the track conditions can't have changed that much in just one race. But 2:49.6 for Baccarat, then Markland, Timiziano, Shisharit, Sabo, all affected by troubles on track. So I don't think we've seen the true pace of anyone from Anton down. But Baccarat, look, has gone fastest. Surely that can't develop that much in one run. On to race 3. Was the track developing? It looked like it might have developed in Baccarat's favour. Doran was hoping for more of the same. Bennett beat him to turn 1, and try as he might, Liam couldn't find a way past Ollie Bennett on good form this weekend. Over the jump, though, contact between them. Liam almost lost it. De Ridder straightens the car out for him, and unfortunately that broke the Belgian suspension. Here it is on board with Liam Doran. Big hit. Separate joker lap tactics for Doran and Bennett. Doran in front at the end of the third lap, and still in front when the checker flag fell. Final race of Q3. Mark Higgins in this one needed a good result to try and make it through to the semi-finals. He got the whole shot, but Cyril Raymond got underneath him on the run down to turn 2. The Frenchman was outside the top 12. This was Herve Napik who jumped the start. 2 joker laps and a mistake would see him way off the back of the pace. Raymond, though, on an absolute flyer. Here are the standings then at the end of Q3. Andreas Baccarat takes his first session win, and that sees him second overall behind Timmy Hansen, who still holds on to that TQ spot. Kevin Hansen third, then it's Markland, Weeman, Doran, Scheider and Sabo the top 8. At the minute, Balmanis, Shisharit, Raymond and Timizianov are in the top 12. Bennett still so close. Well, here we go then, some lovely slow motion pictures starting with Ioni Weeman. These were shot in free practice, and at this point in the weekend, Weeman wasn't that happy with the settings on the car. Danny's here again this weekend, in for Gronholm, who's still not recovered from his appendicitis operation, and he's a weapon of a guy, isn't he? But we can still talk, despite the fact he's not happy with the car, about how tricky this circuit is.
Yeah, so these shots from free practice where the track was extra slippery as well, so the cars haven't gone around there very much and worn in a line. You can see the dust kicking up behind the cars there. So we see Timmy Hansen cranking the car in.
Leaning on it hard, isn't he? I think that's the tarmac sections into turn 2.
Yeah, so I believe we're looking at turn 2 into turn 3. So the car's having to rotate on the tarmac, hug it really tight on the inside of turn 2 to get a better line into turn 3.
There's Baccarat coming through in the background. Pretty similar to Hansen through here. Getting the car to change direction is difficult, Dan, but particularly because this next left-hander is off camber.
Yeah, so the guys will be coming in, they'll be applying a tiny bit of power, believe it or not, between the 2 corners so that they're able to weight the nose of the car on the brakes and then rotate the car in, and then try and keep that weight balance there so they can hold the car tight to the inside.
And it's crucial, isn't it, because that is the run down then to the jump. And here we're seeing the Peugeot. Saw Kenneth Hansen, he was saying to me they've been doing work on the landing of that car. That is a massive jump.
Yeah, that was huge, almost to flat and landing heavy on the front there. Maybe not the ideal way to take that one on that time around for Kevin.
Kevin Hansen early in the weekend, around the right-hander back onto tar, and you can see several steering inputs there, and in fact, little bit of understeer, then switching. Finally, the car rotates later in the corner.
Yeah, a bit of dust being dragged onto the tarmac there, making it a bit harder for the guys to be able to turn in.
Let's have a look at how Timmer's car lands. This car was fantastic over the bumps at Spa. Of course, comes from a rally background, and that is a sign of how good the dampers and the chassis is on that car, I think. Yeah,
fantastic. The car just compresses and then it kind of just stays there, so no big shocks shooting the car back up again after it lands.
Yanis Balmanis' new teammate Parsonen. Parsonen's been with him once this year. They're rotating the second driver in that car, but that's the brand new car for Stard. And Kevin Hansen around that tarmac right-hander again. So back up to turn 2, Liam Doran. A little bit wide on the way in there, Dan, I'd say.
Yeah, looking like a little bit of understeer, maybe not able to quite weight the nose of the car how he wanted, and then having to get on the bar into turn 3 again, but fantastic driving from him there.
There's just one qualifying session left to go at Silverstone in the UK, and this is how it stands. Timmy Hansen won both the sessions on day one. Bakker had won Q3 earlier today. Then it's Kevin Hansen, Markland, Weeman, Doran, Scheider, Sabo. Currently just inside the top 12, Balmanis, Shishrit, Raymond and Timozyanov. Bennett, Parston, Higgins and Derrida fighting for a place. First race of Q4 and Christian Sabo wanting to recover from a bad run in Q3. He got beaten to turn one by Gulan Shishrit. They split the Joker lap strategy and Shishrit was on a bit of a fly-up. He holds on to the line. It was very close though. Race 2 Q4, here we go. Parsonen, Scheider and Timozyanov. Timozyanov, as I said, in P12th, new tyres, so Tim has gone new boots to try and make it through. Parsonen in 14th doesn't have any new boots on. Scheider's gone for 2, so he's confident he can get up a little bit further in the standings. But Timmer is the man we've got to watch. He hasn't had great starts. Rumours he's got a new engine. Team haven't confirmed that. It does sound different. But so far, the starts haven't been quite right. And if it's a brand new engine, maybe they don't have the data to get those starts quite right. So watch Timmer. The winner from last round needs to win a start here. It's a good start, but it's not going to be ahead. So Timmer's got Parsonen on the inside of him, and Scheider too. Going to try and go around the outside of Scheider. No room there, has to back out so he doesn't end up in the wall. Parsonen gets the whole shot, runs the car wide. Look at that proper rally style. Big flick left and right. Timozyanov though down in P3, so down is, if nobody jokes in front of him, oh, Parsonen lands on the jump. He's spectacular, but not necessarily the quickest way.
No, I mean, we've seen how tidy the Hansen boys are, and the quick boys are just, there's no sideways drama with them at all. So
He's wide, Scheider's going to go up the inside, and Joker for Timmer. I mean, he didn't have any choice there, but I think he was going to do that anyway.
I mean, I think if Parsonen hadn't run wide and Scheider wasn't able to get past, you would have seen Scheider go in there, and then Timozyanov would have had to have waited another lap. But with Parsonen running wide, that meant that Scheider could get past, and then Timozyanov then taking the benefit of the Joker lap. And it's worked out well for the two of them there.
Yeah, it's played into their hands nicely, hasn't it? So Scheider is currently P7, I say Timozyanov P12, both been released by Parsonen, who's down in P14. So Parsonen unlikely to make it, but you never know if you've got a storming time here. And that's what you want, Dan, is it when you don't win the start like that, you know, Scheider's sitting, go wide, it's like, yes. And for Timmer, again, he would have known what it is. You said if Scheider goes Joker, it just, that one mistake has gifted both these guys a bit of relief.
Yeah, so obviously being held up for a good bit of lap one, but now able to drive their own races as Timozyanov hopefully isn't going to catch up too much with the back of Parsonen, but now trying to make best of a bad start.
Scheider and Timozyanov both coming through turn one, sort of wide and carrying a lot of speed on the gas early. You can see how thin the bonnet is on this car. Everything's saving weight. Of course, last year the bonnet was up on Scheider's car when he was in ARX. Somehow he still managed to finish the race. He goes Joker now, so Scheider's gone Joker, and so's Parsonen, trying to protect themselves from Timozyanov. Timozyanov's going to try and come around the outside of Scheider with more speed. He'll look inside. Timozyanov goes inside Scheider. Oh, there's contact between them. Timmer couldn't quite make that stick, goes outside now. Scheider's gone defensive. Scheider to the inside. Timmer in full attack mode here. Nearly managed to get done what he did so well in Spa, which was like decisive passes, but that time he couldn't quite make it stick.
No, Scheider able to carry the extra momentum around the outside of him and catching his front end, and then making Timozyanov have to get out of the throttle so that he didn't drive Scheider around in a spin.
Oh, look how close it is behind. You can see Timmer's maybe got a bit more grip in the corners, I think, than Scheider, because he was up underneath him. And again through here, so Timmer's lost out, but it's great tactics from Scheider's team. And look how close it is at the line. Timozyanov with a big spin up in turn one after the finish. He just held on to that. You get massive points in drift for that. Scheider, look, moves across on Timmer after the finish. I think there's a bit of a wave in the car there as well. So is Timmer going to put alongside him? Have a look at this. Oh, he is. Timmer. Oh, come on, lads. Contact on the run back to the paddock. Nothing major. I'll guarantee you that'll be under investigation. Timmer probably shouldn't have done that, but there you go. So Timo Scheider takes it by 1/10 of a second from Timosyanov, passing in P3. Those two with a go-slow race on the run back to the paddock. That was brilliant. Love it. Great that we managed to catch that. Timo definitely closed the door on him and gave him a little wave, but Timosyanov is in fourth. But let's have a catch-up with Scheider. I wonder what he thinks about that incident.
What was going on at the end there?
Well, he had a pretty hard dive into turn one when I came out of the Joker. He tried to spin me around. It's unnecessary to do that. So I was a bit upset about this. So the second time the start guys, before it was Baumanis, now it was Timosyanov. So they should pay attention about myself.
And of course the win for you as well there. Are you happy with the time as well? About 1 second back from the current fastest time.
Yeah, this cost a lot of time, running time, the infight we had. So it's stupid to do it, but in the end it's a heat win and some good points for the Q4.
Thanks very much, Timo.
Okay, here we go then. Race 3, Q4. 2 races to go, 10 cars. Got the faster guys coming up. Jonny Weeman, 5th. Liam Doran, 6th. Bennett is 13th. He desperately wants to make the semis. Mark Higgins would need a stormer here to make it up from 15th. Yanis Baumanis is in 9th. Higgins, new tyres on the outside. Doran and Weeman, 1 new boot each, so they're trying to save tyres for the semis. They're that bit higher up. Look, they're both at the minute on row 2 in the semi-finals, so they're saving boots for there. Baumanis here. His anti-lag of just a few moments ago under the commentary box was so loud. Liam Doran has been super quick this weekend, but he would say himself he has made too many small mistakes. He gets frustrated with that kind of thing. Is that fire inside him going to produce a performance here? Great start. Bennett again in the middle of the grid. That car is fast off the line. Oh, contact. Doran in a sandwich in between. Weeman's going to get the whole shot. Mark Higgins got nowhere to go on the inside. That's it for Mark Higgins. Unfortunately, not going to make the semis from there. Has to reverse out turn 1. Weeman leads from Bennett, and Doran's ended up down in P3. It's not where he wanted to be.
Yeah, big squeeze on Doran there, so not what he wanted, and having to break up there at the back of Ollie, trying to go over the jump. I think Liam wanted to send that a little bit bigger.
Yes, he did. Doran could fly that flat out, kind of. We've seen Larson in Euro land it absolutely flat, and I think Bennett's not able to jump it as far. So if Bennett doesn't go Joker, I reckon Liam will. Here we go, watch, and he does. Doran straight to the Joker lap. Backer and Baumanis has got standard. You can see in the background Mark Higgins coming round now, and Liam just gets out in front of Mark, which is crucial for him.
Yeah, that's lucky there for Liam, and obviously Mark having that problem in turn 1 and then not doing the Joker, so doing the Joker on the last lap, I would imagine. But Liam now got that room where he can fly the car flat over the jump.
Look at that, it's absolutely huge. When you ride on board and you hear how long the car is up in the revs for, gives you an idea of just how far they're flying. Weeman is pushing really hard down. You can tell from the attitude of the car how much his inputs are into it. Watching now, does Bennett to try and protect his position? He doesn't. So Bennett now has got Baumanis right up underneath him, and Liam Doran has got clear air in front to try and close the gap. What is it at the minute? It was 6 seconds to the leader. He was about 3.4 off the back of Bennett. Weeman fastest ever of the day, 39.2. Great job.
Yeah, so seeing the form of Jonny Weeman we've seen from Spa, having to learn this track, which the other guys know, of course, already know this track, and Baumanis there maybe having to back out of the fall as well, so maybe Ollie's not quite able to jump the car as far as the other boys.
Definitely not. So Bennett can't jump the Mini to flat, it seems, from this. I think he's in 2 cars behind now. Baumanis gives him a little nudge. Yanis is going to have to go Joker. If Bennett doesn't, he does. Yanis Baumanis goes Joker. Liam Doran's coming through the standard lap now. So Baumanis around there, you can see him. Doran's got Baumanis, so Doran has got Baumanis. Weeman, meanwhile, out front, has bagged in another 39.2. So he's done a 39.4 and 2 39.2s. Weeman is absolutely flying. He's looking to take a session win here in the UK. Over the jump, you can see him in the background. Liam Doran goes to the left-hander on board now with the fin. It's the last lap. What can he do? Doran, 1.1. It looks like Doran is going to get Bennett. But you're weird looking at Weeman and looking at the clock as well. His eyes are wide open. Coming around to take the finish, 2:49.6 is the time to beat. That's Gulas Shisha, its target time. Full gas now towards the line, trying to find that traction. It's a brilliant run by Weeman. He takes it 2:47.0 for Weeman. And that is, Timmy did a 2:47.1 yesterday. So it's the second fastest time of the weekend from Jonny Weeman. Fantastic. what a drive by him. Liam Doran as well, 2:48.9 in P2. Balmanis looked third, Bennett and Higgins. Here's where they slot in. So Weeman and Doran to the top of the pack, and we've got just one race yet to come. Bennett down in 8th. Will he make the semis?
How happy are you with that lap?
Yeah, I mean, this was my first clean qualifying in this race, and I have to say I'm curious to see how far it's going to take me.
And all to play for then in the semi-finals. What would you be happy with going away from Silverstone with? Is it the win or nothing?
Yeah, it's hard to say. For the semi-finals, it's important to get the front row start, and you know, then if you get in the front row for the final, anything is possible. But I will see. I still have some improvements to do in the driving, so I will try to work on that now.
Thank you very much. Well done, Yanni.
Final race of Q4, race 4. Andreas Backward on the inside, having won the previous session. He's second after Q3. Timmy Hansen is sitting in the TQ spot. It's going to be hard to get him off there unless he has an absolute shocker here. Cyril Raymond 11th. Done a good job to get himself up into the semis. Another good job here, could see him up a couple of rows. Kevin Hansen has gone with new boots. So Kevin, I think, looking to deny Backward potentially and put the two Peugeots in separate semi-finals in P1 and P2. And Tom Markland is 4th. Needs to defend that position from Jonny Weeman, who's just done an incredible job in the previous race. Thumbs up from the marshal. Eyes up for the last time in qualifying. This to decide who makes the top 12 and on what row they sit for the semi-finals later this afternoon. Good start across the pack. Markland drops back slightly. Kevin Hansen ahead and moves across and still Raymond. Timmy Hansen has lost out to Backward, though. Backward with a brilliant start. Timmy Hansen rides up the front wheel of Raymond and loses out. So Kevin Hansen up into P2. Oh, Timmy gets in the side from Markland. So Timmy Hansen somehow holds on in the wars through the first couple of corners. We said he needs a good run here. Well, not to have a bad run here, and he's just about got away with that. So that was dodgy times for Timmy in the first couple of corners.
Yeah, Timmy getting a little bit beaten up there, unfortunately for him, but he's still sitting in P3. Will we see him go to the Joker lap now to split the strategy? No, so Markland goes instead. So Markland now getting in the Joker lap.
So Markland's got to do a mega time here if he wants to hold on to 4th place, because say Weeman has done an absolutely stunning job. Problems possibly for Cyril Raymond. He went very big over the jump, fastest lap of the day. Andreas Backward has got, so I think that's the fastest lap of the weekend down 39.1.
Yeah, I think that is. I think you're right there, 39.1. Andreas is on a massive push, and well, we must be seeing the track developing as well.
And Timmy, I saw Kevin Hansen behind him, was on brand new tyres, but Backward is just doing a fantastic job here. So maybe they found something on the car. You can see a little bit of damage from the front. Bonnet just sitting up slightly. Maybe he's glanced one of the barriers on the way around. Kevin goes Joker. Kevin maybe thinks then he can make use of those new tyres. He releases his brother Timmy, so Timmy has been released. Kevin then has given himself some air time in front of him to try and get the laps in. Fastest lap of the day, Timmy Hansen, 38.9, so the track's definitely getting faster.
Yeah, down to the 38 now, so really confident in the lap times. Really big push from these boys. We're going to see Jonny Weeman's time really at threat here.
Massive jump by Timmy Hansen. He's in full attack mode. It's just going to come down between him and Backward. I reckon they'll split strategy, so Backward is sure to hold on for the last lap, isn't he? So I think Timmy might go now. But it depends if they want to try and win the session or if they're happy to follow him. He doesn't.
No, so they're happy to follow Andreas. It's not like Timmy's being held up. There is a bit of a gap there to Andreas in front of him. So Timmy maybe wanting to make up a little bit more time to try and leapfrog Kevin.
So Timmy Hansen then deciding he can't beat Backward, isn't he? And it's better to Joker on lap 4 and go for the overall time, and especially knowing what Weeman has done. Kevin Hansen at the minute is still going to be 2/10 off the back of Backward. We're on the final lap. These guys are all able to fly that jump. Absolutely massive. So Backward leading from Timmy down towards the last hairpin. This is the point at which you can get it wrong. 2:47.0 the target time. Timmy Hansen gaining on the brakes with the Constantina effect. Up into the Joker. Backward will keep it tidy in here. Timmy will too. Watch for the inside for Kevin Hansen. Andreas Backward trying to hold on to the line. It's going to run Kevin out wide. Timmy versus Kevin to the line. Kevin gets Timmy. The Backward guys go mad. It's P1 for Backward. He goes ahead of Weeman. It's 2:46.6, which is the fastest time of the weekend. Andreas Backward takes Q4, race 4, and with it the session as well. Kevin Hansen, P2. Timmy Hansen P3, having been beaten up at the start. Anton Markland 4th, Cyril Raymond 5th. That's where they slot in. Look, Weeman gets P3 in this session. Anton, though, is P5, so who's going to get that all-important front row start in the semi-finals? Andreas Backerud, fastest time of the weekend. What a job.
Fastest time of the weekend so far as well. How happy are you?
Very happy, very happy. We won the fight with Kevin there, so should put us in pole position for semi-final 2, and that was a key. Obviously, they did great tactics yesterday with using a lot of new tires. So yeah, they did well. Managed to fight back today. Good help from KYB and the rest of the team to dial it all in, and feel pretty fast, even though we stalled again in turn 7. So I was, and the radio stopped working, so I didn't know the gaps or anything. Did a joker. I was a bit nervous that I lost too much in the stall, but obviously it went fine. Now it starts to rain, so the game will change for the semis.
The track's going to change again, isn't it? Thank you very much, Andreas. Well done.
Here it is then, standings at the end of qualifying. 2 session wins apiece for Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backerud. Timmy takes the TQ, his 2nd of the year. Andreas Backerud is in P2. Then it's Kevin Hansen, and Jonny Weeman has got Markland by 1 qualifying point. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Weeman gets the front row start that he so desperately wanted. Markland 5th, Liam Doran in 6th place. Shisha at 7th, Sabo is through in 8th. Who's made the cut? Scheider is in, Baumanis is in, Timosyanov, and Oliver Bennett makes the semi-finals at home in the UK. Cyril Raymond has a problem in that last race. There are 2 Brits through in Silverstone in the UK. Fantastic for him. I think it's the first time he's made the semi-finals in the World Championship. Great news for him. Well, of course, here at Silverstone, we have round 3 of the RX2 International Series. And here's what happened in the semi-finals. Semi-final 1, and the rain had just started to fall. All these guys were on slick tyres, and it poured with rain just as they headed down to the start. This is the first time they've been on a wet track. Anders Michalak with a fantastic move around the outside. Fraser McConnell getting hung out, unfortunately, in the dirt on the run down to the jump, so that put him on the back foot in his bid to make it through to the semis. Ollie Eriksson, completely untouchable. Jokered 1 lap before the end. In the background, you can see the battle for 4th place, which was raging on. Everybody looking to be in that all-important top 3. Eriksson took it. P2 was Gunderson. P3 right the way down to the line. It was Michalak versus McConnell. Michalak made it for the first time. McConnell missed out for the first time. Semi-final 2. Kallio versus Trogan down to the first corner. Both these 2 winners previously of the RX Academy Series. It was Kallio that got the whole shot. Trogan ended up down in 3rd. William Nilsson was in P2 at this point. Grierson and Olofsson battling it out at the back. Kallio mastering the damp conditions. This was the merge for Nilsson, jokering to try and cover off those drivers behind him. But 2 passes, Sami-Matti Trogan and Grierson meant that he wouldn't make the cut. Kallio takes the win, so it's our championship P1 and P2 will be on the front row together. Well, you join us for the start, well, the restart of the RX2 final. We've had 2 attempts at it already, so have a look at this. This was start number 1. Anders Michalak on the back row. Have a look, makes a move forward, trying to get up the inside. In fact, it's Grierson who moves across and closes him in a bit, and Michalak ends up in the wall. He did reverse out, but the car wouldn't go any further, so they red flagged it. Start number 2, this is down at turn 1. Gunderson goes right up the inside of Kallio. Boom, into the wall, gets collected by Trogan in the background. Gunderson's car also stopped right on the racing line, so they red flagged that as well. Sami-Matti Trogan's car has just dragged past the commentary box to the start line. It doesn't look in very good condition. You can see the front wheel hanging off it, the front right, but this is who remains for the final of RX2. Ollie Eriksson on the front row with Kallio, and then Sami-Matti Trogan and Vasily Grierson. Trogan's never going to get past turn 1. This is just to start the race and get better points than Ben Philip Gunderson, who retired in the first corner. They did bring the car back round to the pre-grid. Trogan off the line, but he's gone straight away. So this, Dan, is going to be a race between Eriksson and Kallio. Eriksson's won both the first 2 rounds. Kallio's been P3 in Spain and P2 in Belgium. So while these guys are all guaranteed a podium, which is great for them, we've missed out on a decent race. But hopefully these 2 are going to go at it.
Yeah, so Ben Philip Gunderson out in the start of the final. So one of the other front runners, unfortunately, not with us. So it's going to be a fight between the two Olsbergs cars and Vasily Gryzin.
You'd have to have your money, I'm afraid, on Ericsson because he's been absolutely unstoppable this weekend. He's been winning sessions by 2-3 seconds. He has spent a lot of time in this car, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he's actually he actually helped with the development of this car in its early stages, helping to get it built and get it then out to the public to drive. So Oliver, a lot of experience in these cars. He's raced them in America, in the Nordic, and now in his second season on the trot of RX2.
Kallio coming out, of course, of winning RX Academy and then spent some time in, I think it was Super 1600 before moving across to RX2. Where did Kallio finish last year? I'm sure he won a round last year, he did. So Kallio won around the Super 1600 in Norway and then was third in Germany last year in Super 1600. So Kallio actually looks to close the gap down slightly on that last lap. He's just got to keep the pressure on, hasn't he? Okay, they know they're going to get a podium, but this is a championship fight, and at the minute, Ericsson is a few points in front. He's 9 points in front of Kallio, so any time Kallio could take a point off him, he'd want to.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a close fight, and with Oliver obviously winning the last 2 rounds, Kallio is going to be wanting to make it up for it. He's had a P3 and a P2. All that's left to gather in his trophy cabinet is a P1, so he's going to be gunning for that one.
Kallio got the TQ in Belgium, but was outdone in the semis and the finals. Dan, you raced these cars for a whole season. Kallio's going now. Interesting. So I think that's quite psychological. He's giving himself 3 laps, but out of sight of Ericsson, isn't he? Because all the while Ericsson can see him in his mirrors and he knows the gap. So to go now, I think it's a bit of a mental move.
Yes, Ericsson now is going to be wanting to hear the lap times that Kallio's doing in his ears. Ericsson there running a bit sideways on the way to the corner. Looked kind of tidy, but not sure if it was the quickest way.
So I'm wondering, does Ericsson now respond immediately by playing fine old Joker and have him all over the back of him, or does he say, thanks very much, I'll take 3 laps on my own without looking in my mirrors and getting what he hopes will be perfect lap? You're about to find out. Ericsson opts for the latter, so Ericsson thinks he can outpace him over the next 3 laps and isn't worried about where he is.
No, so obviously without having someone sticking on your rear bumper, you don't tend to feel the pressure as much, but then also at the same time you're then going, hang on, what's the gap going to be now? Where is he? What's going on? So I'm not sure. I mean, Oliver he's proven to be quite a dominant force in these RX2 cars, and he's very experienced as well. So I'm sure he won't let it phase him too much. But any sort of upper hand that Kallio could get, I'm sure he's going to take.
Yeah, I think good to see, to be fair. There is no point in Kallio following him through the first couple of laps. Okay, Ericsson goes now, so I wonder if that's in response to lap times. We'll have a look in a second, but Ericsson goes in, rotates the car around nicely, and I think he's going to be clearly in front here. So Ericsson has just put on a massive push on those last 2 laps, Dan, and look at the gap now.
Yeah, so Ericsson actually going 2 tenths faster than Kallio on the lap before. So Kallio not able to bring down the gap, but I think he's probably gone into the Joker lap 1 lap earlier, just in case he makes a mistake. The Joker lap is the lap you do least over a weekend, so it's the easiest to make a mistake on.
1.6 second lead. Keep your eye on that time. The time is up to 1.9. Kallio not giving up the fight, but certainly knows it's game over. Gryzin actually doing a pretty decent job. He's not that far back either, so a little hole developing in the hairpin there. But Ollie Ericsson is coming around to take a very familiar sight, and that is the sight of the black and white checker flag, meaning he has won all 3 rounds of RX2 this year. It's a clean sweep here in the UK. He's dropped 1 point in 3 rounds. Utter dominance from him. Halfway through the season. No, South Africa, so we're 3 rounds into 7. 3 rounds into 7. Ericsson with the win from Kallio and Gryzin. Trogan, Gunnarsson and Michalak given points for their various retirements in our 3 starts of this RX2 final.
Oliver, 3 from 3 for you so far in the RX2. Congratulations, another dominant win. But we certainly saw you do that in a more stressful way with 2 red flags. How was it for you in the car?
I was okay. I mean, it's been quite bad grip in the start, and so it's quite easy to start with these cars now. But yeah, when we got to do it a couple of times, we got heat in the tires, and it was good grip. So it's hard to keep the revs up in the start when it's so good grip in the cars. And I got the edge there, and just never looked back from there. I heard Jesse was close behind all the time, but you know, teammate, it's good to have him there, and another one too for the team.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Here are the standings after round 3. Oliver Eriksson, 1 point off a championship clean sweep. 3 events in, he's on 89 out of 90. Kallio second, Fraser McConnell remains third, Trogan fourth, then Gryazin, Gunderson, Nilsson and Michalak. Well, pretty exciting stuff earlier on in the RX2 final. Dan, we've got a few drops of rain up on this camera lens you can see up at turn 1 as we get ready for the World semi-finals. It'll be tricky for them if it does suddenly rain. It is looking pretty grey here.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of all of the teams in the pre-grid with the wet tyres there ready just in case we have a sudden downpour. I mean, it is the UK. You never know what's going to happen here, so it could be anything. But we're looking at the drivers all now getting ready to jump in the cars for the semis.
Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen on row 1 in that first semi-final. There's Wieman, who of course is on the front row in semi-2 with Andreas Bakkerud. Bakkerud desperate to take a win. When was his last win? I think Bakkerud's last win was Argentina 16, which is a long time ago for him. Of course, he came close, didn't he, in Belgium, but Timmer beat him. So could it be Wieman's turn?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Wieman's been showing good pace all weekend, getting the car set up to how he wants it, and he's only progressed faster and faster. So could we see that his pace come through in the semis?
Andreas Bakkerud having a chat with Christian Sabo. Sabo is on row 2 of semi-2 with Bakkerud's teammate Doran. There's the Bakkerud Blues among all the Speed Machines hats up there. You can see people coats on, hats on. It's a bit chillier this afternoon, certainly, than it's been for the rest of the weekend, but loads of people here and looking forward to the semi-finals, which are coming up very soon indeed. Looking forward to this. Now, we had some news earlier on today from GCK-RX. So they've got 2 teams, they've got 4 drivers already. Of course, they've got Schischerit and Markland in the lead team, and then they've got the junior team with Cyril Raymond and Guillaume de Ridder. But they're actually going to add a 3rd car in Norway to the GCK-RX main squad. Laura is with Rokas Baciuska, who's moved from ES Motorsport, didn't do Spa, of course, and has announced a deal this morning with GCK.
Fresh colours then for Rokas, and we're here pre-grid for the semi-finals. You must be itching to get in a car. How excited are you to get back racing and to be with a new team, a new outfit, GCK?
Hello, I'm super excited because for able to continue World Rallycross Championship, really nice. We are already 2 days here, looking to how the team is working. Very nice, every people is like a big family, everybody friendly. And we will see how it will be in Norway.
So Norway next up. Beyond that, you've signed a long-term deal with them. What does your future hold? What does that long-term deal entail?
For the moment, the future it is that continue the championship, and for the next year, we're looking for this team.
And what are you hoping to do in Norway as well?
I hope to do my best, what I can do, and I think I will do it.
And we've got the semi-finals behind us here, of course, the finals to come. What are your predictions?
Timmy and Kevin is really, really fast. I hope they will go to the final, but also behind is Markland and Schischerit. I hope they will beat him.
Of course, you're going to want some GCK guys up there in the final. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you in Norway.
Thank you.
Interesting then, Bacius getting a 3rd Megane. That's the car that, of course, Markland was using last year. Remember, it was Schischerit and Doran. And Markland, I think, all went to Germany. Markland got tangled up with Hansen in turn 1. That chassis was damaged and has been sitting, waiting to be repaired. It's on display this weekend here at Speed Machine. Some happy fans up there on top of the Monster Energy rig. That is the spotters tower. We're up the far end. The only people with the windows in, we're wusses compared to the spotters who stand there in the snow and the rain. We have had snow and rain in the commentary box as well. Thankfully not this weekend. Rokas Baciuska, newly signed, heads across to wish good luck to his new teammates, Markland and Schischerit. Very excited to see what he can do in that car. He did well in the Skoda at the start of the year, and then departed that team, made the semi-finals in Abu Dhabi, just missed out in Spain with a Q13. So Baciuska will be back in Norway in 3 weeks' time with GCK-RX. 5 cars for them. That is an absolutely mammoth outfit, isn't it? Semi-finals coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's semi-final time for round 4 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. The Dayinsure World RX of Great Britain speed machine. We were all at a festival last night watching Sean Paul. Now we're going to watch some real action as we get down to the semi-finals. We had 3 different TQs this year and 3 different winners. Are we going to see a new winner, or is someone going to take their 2nd win of the season? If you've missed qualifying, where have you been? It was all live online all weekend. This is here where we stand coming into the semi. So Hansen taking his 2nd TQ of the year. Backward alongside him. Backward won the second 2 sessions today. Has the Audi got enough pace to take a win? Kevin Hansen in 3rd. Weeman up on the front row. Nicked that place from Markland in the final session. Liam Doran flying the Union Jack for the Brits at home. Shisha at 7th. Sabo 8th. Scheider 9th. Then Balmanis, Timosyanov and Ollie Bennett. A 2nd Brit. It's the first time Bennett has made the semi-finals. What a place to do it. Semi-final 1 then Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen on the front row. Semi-final 2, it's Backerud versus Weeman. Now, Laura was down on the pre-grid and she managed to catch up with our pole man from semi-final 2, Andreas Backerud. So we're going to find out what the Norwegian thinks about his chances going into the finals.
Andreas absolutely flying in qualifying, posting the fastest time we've seen all weekend. What is it about this track that seems to suit you and your driving style here?
Well, it's hard to say. I really like this track. It's all about feeling the grip and staying. You can't rev it too much. You get too much of a wheel spin, especially here after a jump into, let's say, turn 6, 7, 8. I think that's a very crucial part of the track. The dirt here is kind of unique compared with everywhere else we go racing. Like, next stop is Hell in Norway, 15th of June, and there you have like gravel with stones, and here you have a little bit more like muddy concrete type of thing, and it's very, very slippery and very bumpy as well. So I think it's all about like finding the grip and feeling the torque of the engine and the chassis and all that stuff.
Thank you very much, Andreas, and best of luck for the semi-final.
Thank you. Arigato.
Timosyanov, the last man to pull up to the line, roaring underneath the commentary box. The noise here is fantastic. It does get us right in the mood. Can't beat a bit of turbo wastegate chatter there as well as he rolls up to the back of the grid. He won in Spa. He's on the outside. He's going to have to make some epic moves like he did there if he wants to get towards the front. Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen on the front row, a win each. Timmy in Spain, Kevin in Abu Dhabi. And look, Timmy Hansen, 4 new tyres. They've saved new tyres on the Peugeots for the semi-finals. Anton Markland and Gulash Shisharit on row 2, teammates in the GCK Renault Megane. Brand new tyres all round. People have been playing the tactics game this weekend. Timo Scheider on the back row with Timosyanov. 1 new boot for Timo on the front left. Interesting. So Timo, we know, didn't have new tyres in the final in Spa and still did that incredible job against Backerud. But I say he's got some work to do if he wants to get around the outside here. Thumbs up for the marshal. The pre-grid is packed. The teams and the drivers are semi-final 2, looking for any clues as to what the grip levels are like now. Ready to race, light comes on. Waiting for the green, it goes out. Oh, bad start. Kevin Hansen looked like he dropped back a little bit. Markland would look up the inside. Scheider's right up underneath him. Contact with Scheider and Markland. Oh, he's caught in between them, in between the 2 GCK cars. Scheider gets out. Timosyanov up the inside to P4. Timmy Hansen goes inside turn 1. Kevin Hansen then P2. Markland's into P3.
Yeah, fantastic job there from Markland, working his way up, taking advantage of Kevin not quite getting the good start, but then Kevin able to fight back and Scheider getting squeezed back, but getting his way up past the 2 GCK cars on the line.
So Scheider is in P4. He had that great pace yesterday, but we think the track was cleaning. I reckon if he doesn't go Joker, we might see Timosyanov go. Markland goes. Timosyanov stayed standard lap, so Anton Markland, the only man to Joker on lap 1. He must think he's got great pace to go from P3.
Yeah, we have seen fantastic pace from Markland in the GCK Megane, and he obviously thinks he's got it now, getting the Joker lap done early from P3. An interesting tactic there from the boys, especially when you're following the 2 Hansen brothers who you know are fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't have to go there. He could have seen that panned out behind, especially with Scheider. You can hear the cars crashing down absolutely flat over the jump. Wipers on for Timosyanov. Can't see any rain on our spotters' windows here, and the front cars are looking clean. Kevin Hansen looking fast here. Yesterday, Timmy was behind Kevin, and he looked like he was being held up, but at the minute, I think the pace is pretty even between them. Shisha, it goes Joker. GCK are going for early Jokers here.
Yeah, I think they must feel like they can pick off everybody as they start to work their way up. You can see Markland's already got a big gap ahead of Shishirit, and Markland is looking fast. The car's looking very stable on the way into turn 1. Patient on the throttle and up through the gears.
So Markland is what, 1.7, is he 2.7, sorry, off the back of Timosyanov. That's not enough for Timosyanov. So we know he can get past Timmer, and he'll be looking for Timo as well. Remember, this is now all about top 3. The top 3 go through. Race time is irrelevant, so it doesn't matter if it rains between the 2 semi-finals. The Hansens are so close in on that tricky hairpin. Scheider holding on. Scheider's spotters now need to be looking behind because Markland's closing that gap down.
Yeah, the Joker lap we think is around 4.6 seconds, so quite a long Joker here, but Scheider really late on the brakes into turn 1. He has got that CIB for on the limit.
Gap at the front of that bonnet. I'm kind of hoping we don't see what we saw last year when it flew up during the ARX race. The crowd loved it. Timo not quite so much. Massive air from the Peugeots and from Scheider too. Brand new car for Scheider. This team's been running 3 cars here this weekend with Rennie Munich and Mandy August in Euro as well. Front radiator like the VW. It's a good car, but they need to be watching out behind. And for me, Markland has closed that gap down. Look in the background now. Here's Timmer and Markland as well. Rear of your shot. The gap between them is not enough for Timosyanov to get out, so I think Markland's looking good here.
Yeah, Markland's looking good, especially with Scheider as well. The gap there being roughly 4.1 seconds, and it's roughly now 4 seconds between the two of them. We think the Joker's
about
4.6. We think the Joker is. So Markland there is in the box seat now, looking to be P3 at the end of this semi-final.
Oh, what's going to happen between Scheider and Markland? It's going to be close at the merge, whatever lap they decide to go. In fact, they're all going to have to go around 5 or 6. They've got 2 more laps on which they can choose to. I wonder if the Hansens will go together. They're going to wait for the final lap. They are. So Timmy and Ken will go together. Scheider potentially a little bit wide. Scheider goes Joker. This is it then. Maybe this is going to be the last spot in the semi-finals. Timosyanov and Markland on the standard lap. Markland coming around. He's got more speed than Scheider. He's got him already. So Scheider's been picked off by Markland. Markland now waiting for Timosyanov to go. The gap is just 2.2 between them. Great tactics from GCKRX to send Anton early and the clear air down. He's really got it done.
Yeah, awesome job there. It was a little bit of a risky move going for P3 on lap 1, but it's obviously not catching anybody up and being held up, so he just do his own lap times.
Timmy Hansen out front's been absolutely flying, 39 zeros and 39 ones the whole way through the race. Now he's going to go for the perfect Joker lap. Watch for this. It's just the epitome of tidiness, but not from his brother. Kevin spins in the Joker on the last lap. Timosyanov up the inside. Kevin Hansen has dropped it. Timmy Hansen wins semi-final 1. Markland and Scheider go through. The World Championship leader has dropped it on the Joker lap on the final lap of semi-final 1. And he is not going to make it through to the final. That is a disaster for Kevin, just as we were seeing how perfect Timmy and Kevin are. A mistake at the crucial moment.
We know how tricky that Joker lap is. It comes up, it's a loose section, and then it goes to tarmac really tight. And Kevin there, he looked really loose on the brakes on the way in and then just dropped it into the barrier. It was just disaster.
Result of semi-final 1, Timmy Hansen goes through with Anton Mark and Timo Scheider at the last second when Kevin Hansen down in P6, the World Championship leader, dropped it following his brother, staggered by that. Timosyanov and Shishirit also missing out this time. Well, aside from the tactics of GCK early on in that race, Dan, you know, it was pretty clean, and then literally 5 seconds from the line, Kevin goes and does that. This is the start, but it was all pretty tidy.
Yeah, Scheider muscling his way up through. I mean, that was the only sort of contact we saw through the whole race, apart from then, you know, Kevin just making his own mistake at the end. It was just, I can't believe it.
No, neither. I got blown away. I really am. Kevin, of course, was P1 in Abu Dhabi, P2 in Spain, went out in the semis in Belgium, and has gone out in the semis here. So his championship lead over his brother was only 11 points, and with Timmy having out-qualified him here by 2 points, that would have been down to 9. He's just taken 6 compared to Kevin's here, so I think Kevin Hansen's going to lose the lead in the World Rallycross Championship here, possibly to his brother. OK, so you're following Timmy in, you know it's perfect. That's really odd for Kevin. He would have just thought he would have just got on and backed it in a bit, but it rotated hard on the way in. Well, Timmy Hansen's taken semi-final number 1. Kevin Hansen's gone out. Timmy might not even know, but he's with Laura now.
Well, Timmy, a near faultless performance from you, another win. But I'd imagine there are some mixed emotions for you right now, having seen what Kevin did on that final turn into the finish straight.
Yeah, mixed emotion is the perfect word. Like, I'm super happy about my run, and it was stable. Car was very good now. We put fresh tires on. I knew Kevin was behind me, and when I looked in my mirrors over the finish line, I couldn't see him, and I got the news he was still stuck in the Joker. So devastated for him. I'm very excited for myself. So it really is mixed emotions, but I gotta keep my head cool now, not like get too involved, because I have the most important race ahead.
Tricky position for you to be in. All the best to Kevin, and good luck for you in the final.
Yeah, that is tricky for Timmy, because that family is so close. They are, you know, very emotional and linked in towards each other's results. So Timmy's got to clear his head and get himself ready. It's another semi-final to come. He's going to find out who's going to be battling for the win here in the UK. Well, a good first semi-final, pretty standard, you know, nothing too carnage, Dan. We've seen carnage here in the semis before. We're going to take a look back at some of the action, see if we can pick the bones of what happened. So this is the start again. So interestingly, everybody on the inside has gone through. Timmy Hansen, Anton Marken and Timo Scheider. The right-hand side of the grid looking at it from the back. Kevin tries to go around the outside here. Look, Sheestreet lost out, and that was kind of game over, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then Timmy there running a little bit deep so that Kevin couldn't get around the outside of him at turn 2 to give him the inside for turn 3. So Timmy there, a very firm and fair move just to hold his brother out wide.
Interesting that GCK jokered when they did. You know, again, they could have followed these guys. And as it goes, Anton's gone through, obviously, in P2. He wouldn't have known that with the Kevin thing. But so this was Anton's very early joker.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to make sense to me, because now he's behind, you know, he's at the back of the pack, and he was behind the 2 Peugeots in front, and we saw how fast they were through the whole race. So I don't know, it baffles me. I mean, it's probably a good job he did do his joker before the last lap, so that he didn't get caught up with Kevin Hansen there, but obviously they weren't to know that was going to happen.
No, exactly. So an interesting strategy, potentially a little bit risky. So this is coming in towards the last lap now. Scheider coming out from the merge behind Markland. Markland looking very, very good through turn 1 here. Just not much lock, not too sideways on the exit down.
Yeah, very circuit racy style to take the corner, carrying the momentum in, not having to do too many inputs, and just, you know, being as smooth as possible.
Okay, down to the last corner then. So this is the hairpin right. Watching Kevin now. Dan, talk us through this, because when you've got a guy in the same car, the exact same car in front of you, you should be able to follow them in. This is a very uncut. I'm wondering if there was an issue.
I mean, to me, it just looked like he kind of outbraked himself a little bit, maybe came in a little bit too hot on the brakes, had to try and anchor it down a bit more than he wanted to, and then, you know, it unweighted the back of the car, got the back of the car onto the loose section, and then he tried to carry the slide in through the corner, but it just then hooked up at the start of the tyre barrier.
I think that's the thing I'm somewhat surprised about, is that with Kevin, you'd expect him to roll off the brake and just allow the car to go a bit straighter and deeper. Yes, you make a mistake, but you still go through. Yeah, it's almost like he's on the bar early and has stuffed it in really early. But look, he's made the mistake. He's gone. It's not ideal. We have another semi-final to come for our big crowd here. Hopefully they're not going to need those ponchos, but the rain is still threatening, so anything can happen. And no, in the semi-finals it probably will. There is Speed Machine in the background, the fairground just in front of the wing. We've already had a fantastic semi-final 1, and we've booked Hansen, Marken and Scheider through. Kevin Hansen's gone out though. What does this one hold in store then? A surprise at the last second like we had in semi-final 1. Let's have a look at the lineup for semi-final number 2. Andreas Baccarat on the pole, hasn't won since Argentina 16, threatened to last time out, but he was beaten by a Hyundai. He's got another one alongside him, Jonny Weeman. He does have a pair of new boots on the front though. Row 2, and it's Liam Doran. He said earlier on today, I can win here, I've got the speed, I've just got to stop making mistakes. Is this the time to do that? Again, 2 new boots for him. Sabo in an identical car run by Ikes alongside. And then Baumanis and Ollie Bennett making it through to the semi-finals for the first time ever here in the UK. Great result for the Brit. Okay, take a look at this then. We'll have a little look around the grid. Liam Doran, a little relaxed glance across. The barely see him. He's completely enclosed by the safety systems in his car. Tension building. Balmanis looking forward at Weeman. He's hoping a gap's going to open up from there. Jonny Weeman, eyes on only the marshal, waiting for the thumbs up before he starts his procedures. And Bennett at the back. All 4 onboards in this semi-final, my goodness me. We're going to see some great action, hopefully. Marshall points towards the lights. Here we go. Oh, reasonable start across the front 3. Doran is up underneath backward. Weeman, is he going to try and go around the outside? Bennett locks up and he's going a bit deep in turn 1. Sabo in between Balmanis and Weeman. Weeman's getting hung stride. Sabo, Balmanis drops on the brakes into the back of Doran. Doran sideways. Balmanis is going to get around the outside of him. So Balmanis in front of Doran. You're on board with Liam now. Balmanis to the right. Has Liam got in front of him? He has. It's alongside him. Balmanis up the inside. Weeman up the inside of Doran. Oh, Weeman's in the tyre barrier. He's over. Jonny Weeman is over the front left corner. He's off the car. Weeman is on his side. You're on board with him now. He kills the engine. And Jonny Weeman is on his side. Red flag. Carnage in semi-final 2.
Yeah, but like you just said, Andrew, anything can happen in the semi-finals, and
it probably will.
Every single corner there, something happens.
Oh, mate, I was about to come to you on about lap 3. I mean, it's just mad, isn't it? So Weeman's car is broken, which is a shame, because I was kind of hoping they'd stick it back on 4 wheels and send it back to the grid. He's still inside. Oh, thumbs up, lads. No worries yet. This is just a normal day at work. Push it back on the wheels. We'll crack on. Of course, he doesn't know at this point, Dan, that we've seen the suspension, that it's broken.
Looks surprisingly calm, doesn't he?
He's a Finn. It was quite okay. Oh, I'm disappointed for Weeman, because I think he was a threat. Okay, on board with Weeman now. We were on board with Liam at this point. We couldn't see Balmanis next to us. All 3 of our onboards in this little melee. Weeman looks up the inside, as he should have done, but he's got caught on that tyre barrier again, and that's rolled him over. That's a real shame.
We've seen a few people become a victim of those tyre barriers, and it's just when rubber meets rubber. We're going to see another view of it again there. Liam squeezing him in, and yeah, just catching the front tyre there on the tyre barrier, and just almost drives himself up the rubber conveyor belt that's stapled to the, or bolted to the front of the tyre stack there, and just drives himself up over.
That is a shame. That is a shame. If it had been a curb, I don't think he would have gone over there. I'd like to see that maybe added. Well, the crowd are enjoying it, Dan. That's not, you know, unfortunately, Weeman not quite so much. So the marshals don't want to be that side of the car as it comes down. We've got problems down in the pre-grid as well. Balmanis is being pushed back. If they've got damage on that car, Weeman inside, they're going to dump it back down onto all 4 wheels. I wonder if Balmanis has got damage on that front left, Dan. We're just looking out of our comms box window. There he goes. Bang. Thumbs up. He's going to try and start it, but it's pointless, because you can see as well as we can from that front right corner, this is going to be game over for Weeman. So we're going to need a truck down there. There's one there already. Liam Doran and Backward getting ready for the reset. So if you're Timmy Hansen, you're thinking, well, good, one of the Hyundais is gone. In fact, both are gone, of course, because Timmer didn't make it from semi-1. And I think Weeman is a threat. You know, without a championship to fight for, he could have gone for it. And also, you know, these guys have got all the stress again, you know, so Timmy's got longer re-prep time. He's back in the paddock, chilling as much as you can when you're about to go and do a World Rallycross Championship final.
Yeah, so this has bought Timmy a little bit more time for his mechanics, of course, to look over the car as well, because, you know, these guys don't get very long between the semi and the final to jump on the cars and work on them. But also now it's going to be leaving a gap for Liam and Szabo. There's now going to be a hole on the front row when we come to the restart, so they're going to have a bit of a clearer run to turn 1. So it means that Andreas is going to then have a little bit less pressure as well. He's maybe not going to be at such a risk of being squeezed.
Yeah, very nice for them. We said, didn't we, when we were on board, going through the onboard, saying how they'd like to see a hole open up in front of them. They weren't thinking it was going to be on a restart. Balmanis looking out the way. It looks relaxed enough. I think maybe it's only bodywork. So we've got 5 of our 6 cars lined up. Could we see 2 Brits go through if we have much more carnage? Balmanis, eyes down. We'll have a restart soon. Balmanis, is he reading stuff off the wheel, Dan? I mean, he looks quite chilled to me. I guess the team will have told him nothing wrong.
Yeah, he looks like he's got his hand down, maybe on a talkback button to the guys to ask him what the car looks like and to see if he does actually have any mechanical issues.
Bennett. He seems all right, doesn't he? Happy enough.
Don't know what that sort of signal was there.
Sort of photo thing, like a selfie, I don't know. I mean, what does that mean? I'm sure there's some kids out there who are more down with the kids than you, Dan, you know.
Just not
we
keeping
expect
up
you
with
to
it.
know these things, you know, you're half my age. We can't have people doing sign language you don't know about. We'll have to get a younger co-commentator. I don't know how much younger we can go. Bennett spotter at the end. Right, loading the grid up again. How hard is it to reset?
Yeah, it's very hard, especially when it comes to semi-final time. You know, it's not so bad in the qualifying, but semi-finals is crunch time, isn't it? So to reset and know that you go out and do those 6 laps to book yourself a slot in the final.
Liam bogged there. Did you see on the on his practice start and reached straight down for settings in the middle? Low down though. I wonder if he'd forgotten to switch the anti-lag back on. No, we could hear anti-lag at the start, but it seems strange to reach down most of the settings on the wheel.
It varies from car to car, really. Sometimes we've seen like the Hoonigan car in the past have 1,000,001 switches on the steering wheel. Other people prefer to have it down on the gear tunnel, a little bit of a dashboard there. So
we asked Ken Block when he had the Focus with us. We did a piece with him in Latvia about all the buttons on the steering wheel, and he wouldn't tell what some of them did. One of them said Hoon and had a switch on. I wasn't convinced they all did anything at all, but Ken had a very good poker face. So so Balmanis the same.
Yeah, so Balmanis there reaching to the steering wheel, so maybe the steering wheel is where he has his launch settings, but the guy's probably going to have to turn it up. Interestingly, Ollie Bennett not doing a dummy start there, so maybe confident he's going to be okay, but of course these guys are now approaching it with warmer tyres, so they're going to need to turn it up.
Well, you've mentioned as well that in RX2, when you guys used to race, you didn't do a second start. We didn't do a practice start at all if the temperatures were high, because you didn't want temperature in the tyres.
Yeah, so the RX2 cars are so hard to launch that you almost want a little bit of wheel spin because they have so much grip. So if by not doing a dummy start, you don't put that heat in, you don't clean up the tyres. And so maybe Ollie choosing to try and keep the tyres cool rather than doing a dummy launch.
Well, the cars are back on the grid. We're just waiting for the marshals to finish repairing the barriers down after the jump. And then we're going to get this show back on the road. Semi-final 2 coming up. Well, the cars are back on the grid. And the track is still just being repaired out on the far side. Just a tiny little bit clear up to go. And then we'll be all right for a launch down to turn 1 again. I can see the tractors reversing away, so can you now. All the lads are getting into the bus, and we are good to go. Here we go then. Here's the grid for semi-final 2, the restart. Andreas Backerud on the front row on his own. No Jonny Weeman alongside him. He will not restart. That's great for Andreas. Not good for Jonny, obviously. Doran and Sabo have now got clear air in front of them. Can they go round the outside of Andreas? And on the back row, Balmanis and Bennett. So Bennett managed to avoid the carnage in turn 1. Admittedly, he went a bit deep on the brakes. He didn't avoid it necessarily by choice, but it's actually not a bad position to be in. Liam had contact in pretty much every corner, but he's used to that as well. He did that with Scott Speed here last year, contact over the jump and all sorts. Right, Backerud is in pole position, all on his own on the front row. Got to make the most of it. Great start by Backerud. Liam has to click the clutch. Sabo's got away cleanly. Sabo going to shut the door on Liam. I don't think he'll get around Backerud. He goes deep, though. Doran's into the back of Backerud, but holds his line. He's inside Sabo. Nicely done. On board with Balmanis, you can see in front. Liam and Sabo. Sabo's on the inside for turn 3, but he can't hold on. Doran stops in, so this time it's Backerud, Doran, Sabo. It's an EKS 1-2-3 at the minute with the Audis.
Yeah, fantastic job there. Interesting, Liam having to kick the clutch off the start, but not losing too much, so not turning that RPM up enough to get off the line, but it hasn't hampered him too much as he's now sitting comfortably in P2 behind his teammate.
Waiting there, patient on the throttle. Balmanis goes Joker 1, so Balmanis has gone on the first lap. Balmanis, remember, is the only driver to have made all 3 finals so far this season. He's betting on an early Joker in the hopes that he can get some time on Sabo in front of him. Oh, Doran, all out to a fastest ever the day back at 38.8. That's another 10th quicker down.
Yeah, fantastic effort there from Andreas, and clearly the rain we saw over the lunch period hasn't affected the track. So he is on a big push here now, and Timmy Hansen's going to be watching back in the garage and seeing the pace of Andreas.
I cannot believe how far these guys jumped the Audi. It's literally flat chat. I spoke to Bennett just before the final when we rode on board with him earlier on, and he said to me, I can't take the jump flat out. We've got too much suspension travel and the car touches the ground. Sarbo's gone. This is in defence of Balmanis. Balmanis in the background has kicked up the dirt in the hairpin. Has he made a mistake? Has he lost too much time? I think he has. He'll have extra exit speed, but Sarbo's got him. So Balmanis will know now he's got to get it done on track.
Balmanis running a bit wide there on the way into turn one. Well, maybe Szabo is just covering his line, but Balmanis able to carry that little bit more speed through the corners. He's actually, seems like he's gained up quite a bit on the back of Szabo now, so the fight is on.
So Hansen's best time was a 39.0. Dan, we are 20 minutes later now. We haven't had any other cars on track. So again, Bakker doing what he did earlier on today. They've done something to that car. He thanked the suspension provider in KYB after one of the qualifying sessions. They found something on that car, I think.
Yeah, well, obviously when we had Matthias with us in Spa, he said he'd been developing all the cars and working with his suspension partner to really try and maximise the performance of it, and it's clearly paying off. They're able to jump the cars to flat, and it doesn't seem to be hampering them.
No, absolutely unbelievable. Szabo and Balmanis in a little fight at the back. Bennett at the minute, I think he's within range of Szabo. He's only, what is he? Actually, no. Yeah, Szabo's gone back, so Bennett's got a couple of tenths off him there.
Yeah, but sorry, just to go back to Andreas in that hairpin, looking like he bogged there. He said in the qualifying sessions about he was stalling in the hairpin, so maybe something on the diff release not quite working properly. As he gets on the handbrake to try and rotate the car and stalls it, Ollie Bennett, big understeer on the way in, having to get on the bar to rotate the car.
I think he's losing time now, so Bennett now is only 2.2. As Bennett got damage to the car because there's something not quite right, Szabo is now gaining on him, so Bennett here is either going to have to hang on and just hope that he gets the most coverage he can for being P3 in a semi-final. Great to see him in the semis for the first time, especially here. Look. Oh, fire! There's a fire underneath Bennett's car. Oh, massive flames from underneath Bennett's car. There is fire pouring out from underneath. His spotters are on. He's straight out towards the marshal post. Bennett pulls off. He'll get out of that car very quickly indeed. The flames seem to have stopped now, so potentially something was pumping out onto the exhaust, and when he's killed the engine, it stopped, so the fire doesn't seem too bad. Bennett has retired. You can see it underneath the back. Need to be careful if they open the bonnet, fire that extinguisher in from underneath. Get in there, lads, come on. Back to the front, backward over the jump, so backward leading from Doran. Szabo is joking, double wave yellows down the hairpin, but that doesn't matter right now. Andreas backward coming down into the right-hander on the last lap. He's super cautious into there. So backward will Joker now. Is anyone going to make a mistake like they did last time? I think Doran's going to go through too. So backward into the final corner. Liam Doran is right behind him, and both the Monster Energy RX Cartel cars are going to go through. Backward to the front row. Liam Doran to row 2. And row 3 is Szabo. So all three of the EKS Run Audis have gone through to the final. Matthias Ekström was joking on Instagram before the semis that he was glad he wasn't here because all three cars were in the same semi. I said, I guess they'll have to have a chat. Well, they've obviously had a chat. It was a good one because they've all gone through. Backerud goes through with Liam Doran and Christian Szabo. And the time, though, is slower than Timmy Hansen's in the end. So the lap time was better, the overall time, sorry, but it doesn't matter. This is a race. The times don't matter. It's all on the line. Balmanis, Bennett and Wieman not making it this week. So let's have another look at this one. Grey skies here, but no rain so far during the semis and the finals. Backward and Doran up at turn 1. Clever stuff from Doran to hold Szabo off.
Yeah, Szabo trying to go all the way around the outside of turn 1 and then keeping it on the outside of turn 2 as well. But Liam able to shut the door on him. Szabo maybe not able to get the turn in quite as fast as he wanted to get back up the inside.
Yeah, tidily done. Balmanis jokering early, hoping to cover off Szabo, but Szabo responded straight away.
Yeah, smart move there from the EKS guys to get Szabo in and out. Of course, they weren't in a big threat to be held up, but you can see the flames from Ollie's car there. I think he landed really hard off of the jump and maybe damaged something underneath.
This is the point, isn't it, where you're just straight on. In fact, he broke the manifold in Q4. He told me that when the car bottomed out, so problems for him, but a perfect score for Monster Energy RX Cartel. They're both through, along with Szabo. Well, we've got more to come. 2 finals coming up. Well, I was going to take a deep breath, but we don't really have time, Dan, so let's just smash out another amazing supercar race, then we can all have a heart attack in 20 minutes' time when we're finished. So this is, of course, round 1 of the 2019 FIA European Rallycross Championship for supercars. On the front row, Robin Larsen, who has been unbelievable during the qualifying stages. Brinderson next to him, JB Dubourg and Rennie Munich. And on row 3, Andrea de Bourg and Pontus Tiedemann, the WRC driver here, having some fun in the Per Eklund Run Beetle. Okay, chill, everyone, just chill. There won't be carnage. Maybe.
He said.
Maybe, yes, he said. Just before semi-final 2, when there was immediately carnage. I think I may do it on purpose, to be honest. Commentator's curse always works for getting a decent bit of action. Right, so these cars then, pretty much exactly the same specification as the World cars, 600 horsepower. They are doing 5 or 6 rounds this year. I think it's 5. Robin Larsen on the pole has won the European Rallycross Championship of Supercars before, back in 2014. That was when they were in the same qualifiers as World. Of course, they've had their own event since 15. Larsen has been a full-time World competitor for many years, missed 1 season, but he's back here and he's looking amazing in this car. Great start, Larsen on the inside. Munich took it up well as well. Munich having a look up the inside of Brinson. Brinson shuts the door. Dubourg is up the inside too, and around the outside goes Pontus Tiedemann in the Beetle. Sideways from Dubourg at the back. It's Brinderson, Dubourg, and Tiedemann's around the outside, so Tiedemann's going to get P3 here. Sending it big time in that big lead. He's been chucking it around all day long, but he manages to hold on to P3, so that's a great job by Tiedemann.
Yeah, awesome start by him, starting at the back of the grid and now got his way up into a podium position. I mean, who could have thought it, all the way around the outside in turn 1 and turn 2, and then slots himself into P3 at turn 3.
I love the fact Per Eklund's still here running this team. I saw him the other day. He was all smiles, making jokes about things. He's a very good lad. Into the joke lap went JB Dubourg, still struggling to see the 2 brothers apart. They've got an orange flash and a green flash down the side of the car. There's the green flashes on the side of Andrea de Bourg's car. So I'm going to have a quiet word and ask him to put something on the front of the car, because that's where I always see him. Very selfish.
Yeah, I mean, I try and look out for the letters on their names on the side window, but that doesn't seem to work either.
It doesn't work either, does it? With Kyle, no brothers. It's too much. Rennie Munich in the matte grey Ibiza in front of the other De Bourg, but out front is Larsen versus Brinson. Larsen has been incredible here, Dan.
Yeah, Larsen's been showing a dominant pace here and winning the qualifying sessions by a matter of seconds, but I'm surprised actually Brinderson is sticking with him.
Andrea De Bourg goes joker now. It's his brother at the merge, JB De Bourg, coming around the outside. De Bourg, of course, has won the Andros Trophy a few times, JB that is. So Andrea and JB at the back of the pack, having done their jokers. Larsen controlling things out front in the car, which Matthias Ekstrom won the 2016 FIA World Rallycross Championship in. And he's promised to look after it, and he's promised to win more trophies in it. I'll tell you what, he looks like he's on for a trophy today, but Brinderson's looking the closest to him. He's looked all day.
Yeah, Brinderson is really showing a challenge here. Brinderson has he's been showing to be quick, but not quite on Robin's pace, but now he is all over the back of him. 0.478 of a second, so he is really sticking it to Robin.
So they've got to start thinking about tactics, Dan. You know, if he thinks he's got a bit of pace on Robin, they've only got a couple of laps to go. Does he go? Because he's going to drop himself potentially back into traffic.
It's so hard to decide, especially when you've got 2 guys behind that haven't jokered already as well. So it's a really tough decision for these guys to make. I think maybe we'll see them go on lap 5, just so they can split the tactics.
So here we go then. Larsen, maybe a little nip on the handbrake to get it in. Brinderson's all over the back of him. Thomas Brinson all over the back of Robin Larsen. Can't find a way through so far. He's right up underneath him now. Does Brinson go joker? Surely he's losing too much time behind. I would have gone then maybe, but you think he doesn't want to be back behind Munich.
Yeah,
Tiedemann goes.
I think it's such a risk if he was to go joker then. He could have been in a battle with the guys behind that haven't done the joker. I think we're going to definitely see him going now. He needs to split the strategy, otherwise he's not going to stand much of a chance to get by.
So Tiedemann has lost out, I'm afraid, in the jokers after that great start. Lovely to see him doing it a sideways one in the Eklund Beetle, but he is down in P6. We, though, are keen to see this fight up front. Robin Larsen with Brinderson in behind. Brinderson is, as Dan said, all over him. He's right up underneath him. Is he going to split the strategy? He has to. He has to split the strategy. Whoever doesn't go now, the other one has to go. That's it. Surely.
I think maybe they're feeling a bit threatened by JB De Bourg behind, because if you look at the gap to Brinson to the leader is 0.7, but then the gap to the leader from De Bourg is 5.8, so that then runs in the risk zone of the 4.6 second joker lap.
So maybe De Bourg is within strike striking distance. I think Brinderson should have gone for it anyway to see, but he's obviously desperate to hold on to a P2 if he can't take a win. Dan Rook spotting on the time screens that JB de Borg is a potential threat to Brinderson. Larson comes into that tricky hairpin. You can see how careful they are on the handbrake and on the brakes in there. Up into the joker lap now then. This for the first win in the 2019 Euro RX campaign. Larson through, Brinderson through, looking at the joker lap merge. Oh, it's going to be close. De Borg trying to come around the outside, but Robin Larson wins round one of the 2019 European Rallycross Championship for Supercars from Brinderson by 6 tenths. De Borg just 1 further tenth back. Super close. I think Brinson should have joked and had a crack at that on the last lap, but there you go. He's taken a P2. He'll be happy with that. Dan Rook staring at the timing screens. We'll give you our thoughts in a minute. Larson takes it and 8 championship points. Thomas Brinderson P2. JB de Borg is P3. Munich 4. Andrea de Borg in 5th and Tiedemann in 6th place. So that is a brilliant performance by Larson. Full 30 points from round 1, took the TQ with 3 session wins, semi-final and final. So Larson's going to be hard to stop, but Thomas Brinderson and potentially JB de Borg have served him notice that they're not going to let him have it all his own way. Dan, you've had a look at the lap times. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just having a look at the laps then, and actually JB de Borg was closing in on Thomas Brinderson by, you know, half a second a lap through the whole race. So
maybe they should have gone on 4.
Yeah.
You know, like okay, that might have put them in traffic, but it would have at least protected him from JB earlier and given him a chance to chase him down.
Yeah, I think it would have dropped them behind Tiedemann there, because they don't know when Tiedemann's going to go, of course, because, you know, I'm not sure these guys really talk to each other. They're not going to tell them their tactics, are they? So they're a bit worried to drop them back into traffic. But yeah, de Borg there showing real strong pace that, you know, we didn't actually quite pick up on until near the end.
No, amazing, nicely done. So de Borg doing a sneaky one in the background, couldn't quite get Brinderson. Neither of them could get Robin Larson, and he is with Laura now.
Robin, a dominant performance from you this weekend, but you were perhaps made to work the hardest then in that final. Brinderson right up underneath you. Just how tough was that to get the win?
Yeah, I struggled a bit after the jump in the right, because I think it was oil or something in the corner, but it was so slippery, so it was really tough to be in the lead and find that grip, and he was really close behind, but he was gentle, so it was really nice.
Thank you, well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, here are the championship standings, and it is indeed a perfect 30 for Robin Larson. Thomas Brinderson is second, JB de Borg and Andrea de Borg. And then we've got Tiedemann, Munich, Ikonen and Karai are your top 12 after round 1 2019. There's a long way to go. Interesting from Larson that he said that right-hander is super slippery after the jump. We know that Weeman's car was on his side. There is their oil in that corner, and are the world guys aware? We've got one race to go here at Silverstone, Speed Machine 2019. A superb effort by these teams to get the cars turned around, particularly the guys that were in semi-final number 2. They have had no time at all to get the cars back on the grid after some of the clear-ups, and indeed you can see last-minute checks still going on now, Dan.
Yeah, so just last-minute tyre pressure checks. You know, they may well have changed the tyres in between the 2 runs. They might have saved some from qualifying that were looking a bit better, and so now they have to get them on and make sure they're all at the pressures they want them at.
Going to be a battle royale between Hansen and Bakker. Timmy Hansen doing his practice launch. There it is. Oh, I love supercars. I really do.
What a fantastic sport to be working in.
Could be, we got pundits up in the commentary box who are suggesting, along with Dan, of course, I saw you point at Bennett as well a minute ago. You think oil from Bennett's car too?
Yeah, so we saw Ollie land really hard off the jump, and I think that maybe, you know, we saw the fire under his car. Maybe that was some oil somewhere, maybe a pipe falling off or something from a really hard hit. So there could be the oil on the corner after the jump there from his car as well. So
the question is, how much of that information is going to get back to these guys, because their key staff are all here. They're not in the awning. Sometimes when they're in the awning, they're actually watching the TV feed. They pick up on the stuff that we get to see. This information might not get back to them. I suppose Larson maybe could feed it back to the Audis, but he doesn't have to.
No, I mean, he only mentioned it there in the
post-race interview.
In the interview, you know, he may well have said it over the radio as well to the guys on the way back into the track, and well, they could have said to their spotters up in the tower here, that would probably be the most realistic way that they would get the information. But apart from that, they're not really going to know.
Well, I'm getting tyre information through from race control. It sounds like Bakkerud's got a pair of new boots on the front, and potentially Markland as well. So a couple of people have managed to hold some tyres. Is that going to give him the edge he needs to get Timmy Hansen? Or is Timmy Hansen going to take his second win of the year? Liam Doran making his final checks. And there you see on board the brutality of launching one of these cars. It never gets old watching it. I can't imagine it ever gets old sitting in it. A very brief look there at the championship standings. Liam knocks the car just into neutral and just relaxes for a second. He's wiping his eyes. You can see the new boots on the front of Bakkerud's car there. Looking very clean indeed.
Looked like it was quite clean tyres on the back there as well, so I don't know what has happened with his tyres. I'm sure we're going to find out soon enough from our graphic. But yeah, the rear tyre as well looking surprisingly clean.
A huge bang from Scheider's car. Look at the carbon on this. If we get in close enough, all the black on here is carbon. There you go, you just caught a glimpse. Fantastic, that car looks absolutely amazing. Here we go then. Time for the final round 4 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Timmy Hansen has a win to his name. Andreas Bakkerud hasn't won since 2016. He's got new front tyres. He's desperate for the win. Markland on row 2 also has new front tyres. The car's been quick all weekend. Both him and Liam have been prone to making small mistakes. It's got to be perfect if you want to win at this level. Sabo and Scheider at the back. Outside chances here. Scheider, I guess, didn't even think he was going to make it until we had that last-minute carnage for Kevin Hansen in the Joker lap. Okay, here we go. That is the look down to the Monster Energy rig at Turn 1. The view from the back here, I guarantee you that cameraman's got fingers in ears because these things are loud, and we're about to unleash the noise down to Turn 1. Ready to race for the last time in the UK. It's a good start by Bakkerud. Timmy Hansen not quite so good. Bakkerud going to try and shut the door. He puts a squeeze on Timmy. Contact between them. Timmy in the tyres. Bakkerud trying to go around the outside. Timmy straightens up. Scheider's all the way up to P3. Markland drops into 4th. Sabo trying to go around the outside in Turn 2. Not going to go up the inside of Markland, is he? There's contact between them. We ride on board with Doran now. So Doran behind Sabo, but it's Bakkerud in front of Hansen and Scheider up to 3rd.
Yeah, aggressive stuff there from Andreas. I thought I was going to see Timmy Hansen taking the tyre barrier with him, but I'm sure he would have been pressing that brake pedal through the floor to try and keep himself out of it, and just glanced it and manages to survive through the corners. But Andreas all the way around the outside then through Turn 2 as well.
Markland's gone Joker and Doran's gone with him, so Markland goes Joker, runs the car right around the barrier on the inside. It's super close. Bit of smoke from Bakkerud's car, but I think that's where Timmy gave him a little nudge in the hairpin down at this end down. There was a little bit of contact on the brakes.
Yes, I think we're just looking at the rear bumper of the car is folded up underneath the tyre there, just causing that bit of smoke. He's going to be smelling that in the car, and I'm sure he's going to be a little bit worried about it.
He had the same yesterday, if you remember, in one of the qualifying sessions on Saturday, exactly the same, and the vents at the back there pumping the smoke out, making it look worse than it is. Super smooth on the brakes there. There's that little hole. Timmy has another look up the inside. Is Timmy going to go Joker? Does he fancy his chances? He doesn't. Scheider stays with him, and so does Sabo. Sabo's gone Joker. Sabo goes Joker. Watch now for the merge behind. Trying to cover off Markland, but Markland's mega quick. Straight past him. Liam's going to try and get round as well. Don't think he's going to be able to do it, is he? Liam looking for a result here. Coming up the outside. He's going to make the cut back on Sabo, but Sabo's wise to it. Very clever.
Yeah, Sabo there just holding the car back, not getting on the throttle too early so that Liam couldn't get the switch back on it. But I've just been looking at the timing screens. Markland has set the fastest lap of the race so far, so Markland is on a big push.
So Markland then, danger man for the front 3, and if they're caught up in their fight and they're down the hairpin now, scrapping out, Hansen goes. So Timmy Hansen has gone. This will give him some space from Bakkerud, but it might be to protect from Anton Markland behind. Markland coming out the standard lap, but Timmy Hansen surely just going to hold him off. That's fantastic spotting from his team, and Bakkerud's guys are going to need to be on that as well.
Yeah, so Andreas is a 39.0 on that last lap. Anton Markland of 38.8. pace as we've just seen on the timings of the graphic here now. So Andreas has need to find some pace somewhere. I think he is struggling in the loose section hairpin. We keep seeing the car bogged down a little bit, and he was saying earlier today that he was struggling with the car stalling as well. So this corner here.
Yeah, this is where he keeps stalling it. No such problems this time. Scheider is with him, just 1.5 off. Backwards staying out, so backwards going to stay out on Scheider too. So what do you think, Dan?
I think Timmy's already got the gap as well. The gap to backwards, Timmy Hansen's 4.1, and our predictors say it's 4.6 second joker lap. So Timmy now also on a big charge. Timmy Hansen at 38.5 on the timing screen. Fastest lap again.
Lap of the day. Edoc's fastest lap of the day to Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen wants that second win backwards, desperate for his first win in a couple of years. So saying 4.1, we're saying 4.6 at the minute. It's going the way of Timmy Hansen. Andreas has got to go absolutely all in if he wants to take the win here in the UK. Is he going to go joker, or does he stay out? He goes joker. He's gone now, so backwards gone now. They don't think they can match the pace of Hansen. He's tidy on the inside. Timmy coming round the outside. Going to be a drag race down the turn one. This will be really close. Backward trying to come out, but he can't. Timmy Hansen's got him on the run down to turn one. Hansen will go defensive. Backwards going to try and find a way. Can't. Timmy goes tight. Backward goes wide. Got to try and find a way through, but a fantastic lap from Timmy Hansen to put himself in this position.
Yeah, fastest lap of the day. We see Liam Doran.
Doran's pulled off, so Doran's pulled off, and he's out of this one, but we're back at the front with Timmy Hansen and Backward now, so Backward couldn't quite do enough. Timmy Hansen having a fantastic season after that massive shunt in Abu Dhabi. He took the win in Spain. He was fourth in Belgium, but Hansen has shown his intention very clearly here in the UK. It's a brilliant performance. Timmy Hansen is our first double winner of 2019. The fireworks fly. Backward crosses line P2. He was so close. There's the Hansen team now. It's Markland who takes the podium. Brilliant performance by him as well. But Hansen has taken the win at World RX of Great Britain. Backward must be gutted.
Oh, I know, and he looked like he was struggling that hairpin, not able to get on the handbrake to rotate the car, having to drive through that hairpin, and he must have been losing a matter of tenths each lap.
Here's the result then. Timmy Hansen takes the win from Andreas Backward. Anton Markland is third. Scheider, Sabo and Doran retiring towards the end of the race there. That's Markland's first podium of the year. Very well done. Laura has managed to get hold of Timmy Hansen already, so we can have a chat with our first double winner of 2019 and maybe the leader of the World Championship.
Wild celebrations up here. Just how much does that mean to you? Timmy, the first double winner of the year, but of course doing it for Kevin as well.
Yes, for sure. It was also a lot for Kevin. He was totally heartbroken after the disaster in semi-final. Seeing Timmy keeping it together like he did, just focusing on his thing, and just went flat out.
Quite the battle with Andreas, wasn't it? Congratulations. I'll let you go and join the celebrations. Well done.
Susan's very happy, and rightly so, because Timmy did a brilliant job here. Backward got such a fantastic start, didn't he? I mean, it was aggressive from Andreas, but I think it was fair.
Yeah, it was a big squeeze. He managed to get the nose of his car up in front as we watch on board with Liam now. Not able to see a lot, a bit of contact in the back of Markland, but yeah, Timmy glancing the barrier and then Andreas taking the lead from there.
Could Andreas have done anything different to beat him? He had to hang on, obviously, but potentially could he have responded a lap earlier, do you think?
I think Andreas should have gone the lap after Timmy Hansen. He should have responded immediately, not give him that extra room to close down the gap.
This was Doran trying to find a way back past Saba. Saba, I was so impressed with Saba there, because to have the awareness to completely kill your speed at the apex. Now that was contact then, so that was Liam getting past Saba, but he must have damaged he's clipped the barrier on the inside, giving the place back to Sabo. But at that point, I imagine he's realised that the steering's broken, maybe, or maybe transmission. There's a lot of RPM, but Scheider coming in fourth place. It's a great result for him, but backward, when you see that car come out in front of you like that, Dan, your heart sinks, doesn't it, if you're backward? And Timmy's looking in his mirrors going, thank you very much indeed. Timmy Hansen took it. Fantastic. Well, the crowd are heading back over to the concert area. There's a few things happening there tonight. I think I might be having a few beers, in fact, and the podium is over there as well. So yeah, crowd heading over to the podium. Podium on the main stage here, which is fantastic. I remember last year, it looks super cool. We're going to take a look back at some of the action from that final. Here's another look at the start. So let's take a look at the start down to turn 1. Dan, for me, this was backward moving across towards the inside, and I mean, he wasn't really quite far enough in front to do that, but he did it anyway, and they kind of had to give it up, didn't they? Timmy had to give up the place or risk just firing into the tyres.
No, I think Timmy obviously would have been turning left when the corner went right, just to try and keep himself out of the barrier. You saw him clip it, and then Markler clipping it as well as it got pushed out. But Liam off the line as well, having to kick the clutch, not able to get the start he wanted.
I know we've been talking about Peugeot. I think people were a bit worried at the start of the season about the dominance, but Backward has proved today with those 2 session wins in 3 and 4, but also with that start in the final. The Peugeot has outstarted them on many an occasion, and I think the Audi's there as well. So here's the Joker. Should Backward have gone a lap earlier? How tidy was this Joker, Dan?
Yeah, super tidy, although not using any handbrake again, so I fear that Andreas maybe would have had an issue with the release on the car, not able to get as much rotation as he would have wanted, and that would have cost him for around several places of the lap.
Well, we'll be able to have a catch-up with Andreas later. I thought we were catching up with Timmy a minute ago, and of course we were catching up with the Hansen team. My bad. Doran pulling off after he'd broken the car. Didn't see whether it was steering or not. Unbelievable jump here at Speed Machine. I really think the crowd have enjoyed it. I have to say as well, I think that the racing has become more and more intense as the weekend's gone on. It doesn't always happen like that, you know. Sometimes Spa was wild all weekend, wasn't it? But you know, particularly close racing here in the semi-finals and the final.
Yeah, this season just has delivered, hasn't it? Race on race, it seems to be getting more and more action. It's just fantastic.
I did think we were going to get 4 different winners from 4 events. I gotta be honest, I thought Bakker was going to get it, particularly after the performance he put in Q3 and Q4 today. But, you know, Hansen had the pole on the inside. Bakker had managed to get the whole shot by force, but it wasn't quite enough, and I know Andreas will be really disappointed. So we will have a press conference. If we don't get to catch up with Andreas before the end of the show, and we've had a few delays with track clear-ups and things, we may not. But if we'll have a press conference later, and you'll be able to find that usually on YouTube, so you'll be able to find out what Andreas says. I'm sure he'll update his social media as well as to whether there was a problem or whether they feel the Joker decision was wrong. I love the fact the whole crowd go to the podium here. This is probably, other than Lowiak, this is probably one of the only events.
It's really accessible, isn't it? It's,
yeah,
right on the main stage. I'm sure the guys, as they come out, feel like they're one of the acts on the evening.
Rockstar business. Yeah, Sean Paul was out there last night. We had Sister Bliss as well. Faithless DJ set, that was very good. I have to say, Oxide and Neutrino. We've got a few acts on tonight as well. I'll say me and Dan will be heading down there. We've had a long weekend, but with some great action. I hope you guys have enjoyed it at home. We're going to fill that whole area up, and then we're going to get some trophies handed out. Here are the driver standings after round 4. Timmy Hansen up to the top. Timmy taking the win here in the UK, takes the lead of the World Rallycross Championship from his brother Kevin, who went out in the semi-finals. Andreas Backrud up to 3rd place. Baumanis in 4th. Timur Zyanov drops down to 5th from 3rd. That's a shame for Timur. Liam is up to 6th. Timo Scheider up to 7th. Anton Markland up to 8th place. But we have had a change of lead. Sabo's 9th, Gronholm down to 10th. Paul Niklas, you know, such a strong start. I say get well soon. Yoni Weirman is up, standing in for Niklas, just behind him in the standings. Shisha up, Raymond down. Bachuska will be back, remember, in Norway with GCK. Derrida and Bennett up into 16th, thanks to a great performance here, making it to the semis for the first time. But most importantly, Timmy Hansen now leads the World Rallycross Championship. There goes the Monster Energy truck. I think if the driver's heading back in the truck. VIP business. They won't like that when they're being driven by someone else. They're all terrible passengers, aren't they?
Oh, I know.
Or maybe it's just when I drive any of them that they really, really hate it.
Just depends how much you trust them, I think.
It does, doesn't it? It does. They're getting delivered to... This is backstage. This is the same route. Yes, I quite like this. It's pretty cool. We need to deliver drivers via trucks to the back of a main stage more often. So we're going to try and catch up with Timmy Hansen. Crowd are all heading over there. All the Latvian flags, Swedish flags, looking forward to seeing this. Team standings after round 4. Team Hansen, MJP have got themselves a decent gap now over GRX Tanaco. Monster Energy RX Cartel are closing in on P2. GC Competition P4, sorry, and Academy are in P5. Laura's got Timmy Hansen.
Timmy, the winner here at Silverstone and now the leader in the overall standings as well. Quite the battle between you and Andreas Backerud. Talk me through how you saw it from the driver's seat.
Yeah, it was really tough. He pushed me off into turn into turn 1, which we've seen happen a lot of times. He squeezed me into those tires, made me come out second, and after that I pushed so hard, and I was super close to him when I went into the Joker. I made a fantastic lap. Just after that I put everything together, and I think from that point I was probably in the lead, and then it felt so good to come out in front, especially after what happened in turn 1. But I must say it doesn't feel the same without Kevin here, so super happy for myself. We did 30 points again this weekend, but I'm missing Kevin on the podium.
Well, we'll let you get up to the podium right now. Best wishes, of course, to Kevin after that semi-final, but to you, congratulations. Well done, Kevin.
Anton Markland coming out to take P3. This is rock star business, isn't it? This is a great podium.
Second place. Just as many fans there as Sean Paul last night.
Yeah. Andreas Backerud with 50 of the Backerud Blues over here. Timmy Hansen, though, the winner. Here we go.
Of Dayinsure World RX of Great Britain, Timmy Hansen!
Hansen onto the top step of the podium. Him and Backerud shaking hands straight away. Backerud will be disappointed. Timmy, I think, was a bit cross with the move in turn 1. He's I pushed pretty hard, but he got it done. National anthem for Timmy Hansen. On the stage that hosted Sean Paul last night. Tonight, Jax Jones, Mr. Jam Artful Dodger. It's going to be a good night. Looking forward to that. I think Timmy Hansen might even have a little party tonight. Sure we'll see Backerud there too. Jill Ryan from Dayinsure presenting the winner's trophy to Timmy Hansen. All the flags you can see in the crowd are the ones which were being flown from the back of the grandstand. Second place, Richard Kramer from Cooper Tires Europe, of course, our tyre partner.
All right, and presenting third place, it's Wayne Reed, an O2 competition winner. Yeah, Wayne.
There we go, and the third place trophy being handed out by a competition winner. That's quite cool, isn't it? Good for you, Wayne. Welcome to the World Rallycross Championship.
It's the presentation of the champagne by the Monster Energy.
Well, champagne time. Monster Energy girls are handing out the champagne to the guys. They'll be running off as fast as they can because we all know where that's headed. Hansen sprays the champagne into the crowd. Backerud giving Timmy a shout. That's good to see. He knows he was beaten fair and square. Anton Markland with a brilliant performance to be up there in P3. It's close this year, all to play for. Champagne down the back of Timmy Hansen's back. He is the first person to win 2 events in 2019. We're headed to Norway in 3 weeks' time, and if you love Rallycross, America's Rallycross starts in a fortnight's time. So hopefully you'll join us for that as well. There he is, the winner, and he leads the World Rallycross Championship. Will it be business as usual in Norway?